Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. We return again to the call of Hulu. I am Alistair, and I shall be your keeper of arcane lore for this evening. In the prior session, we saw a greater unraveling of the wild conspiracy. You attended the funeral of Jacques-Louis Comtois, and saw a great degree of irregularity within his personal effects. You made a plan to initiate a robbery of his mausoleum, which was then slightly altered by the immediate arrival of a silver-faced man and a large and suspiciously angry automobile. Then you have wound your way back to the hospital where your companion has recently arisen, and it is with the rising of said companion, Humphrey. As you regain your personal effects about you, you feel the heft of the forgotten and forbidden poetry of Al-Hazred, the Mad Arab, and you sense that its presence has grown heavier.
Like I'm presuming quite literally heavier.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Not heavier on my soul, but quite literally the weight of it is heavier. Okay.
So.
I will. Yeah, I will. I'll take it out. If it feels heavier, I'm gonna take it out and check out what's going on.
There is extra paper that seems to have appeared in the back of the book. You note that unlike the rest of the book, which seems to have just been his personal journal that he wrote in, like it was constructed before he got it, these additional pages are haphazard and loose and scrawled in a much looser hand.
Oh wait, go ahead.
Would you like to read them?
Yeah, I was going to ask if they were in English or what language they were in.
They are not in English, but why don't you give me a power roll?
Okay. Ooh.
It's a good thing you failed.
Oh, okay. It's a good thing. Oh, okay. Good. Yeah. Here we go. That's okay. All right.
So you see, as you peer closer at the shifting, distorted series of sigils and veins and hieroglyphs that emerge across the sprawling width of this paper, two essential words appear at the top, which first in Arabic, then morph within your mind and twist this way and that until converting to the English words, the Necronomicon.
Oh, well, okay, I'm saying that. Well, actually, I guess, would Humphrey know what the Necronomicon is?
Give me an occult roll.
Okay.
I'll say you have a +10 because it's book related. No.
Oh,
you have
God.
No idea. You have absolutely no idea. However, speaking of occult, that might actually be a good thing. Roll me. However, one thing I will say is, after you read the Necronomicon, in brackets below, it says notation of. So this is clearly his form of feedback on his own work. However, I will, given that you failed the power roll, you are just going to directly lose sanity here. So, Can you please roll me 3d6?
Ooh.
I'm afraid it's a hefty toll.
Yeah.
You want to roll low here.
Yeah. Yes.
It's a good thing you're in a hospital.
Oh, well, okay, that was okay.
It would have been nice if there was another one. Yeah, you're going to lose 8 points of sanity, my friend. So that will render you temporarily insane.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah, I think it will. Yep.
So, would you like to make me a 1d100 roll?
Yeah, okay, so 22, I'm just trying to do math in my head. I'm an English major. 22 minus 8 is going to be 14.
Yes.
And then a d100, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. 14 sanity, my lord.
Yeah, Humphrey's getting kind of low.
However, there is a benefit to that. I'll tell you what your insanity is in a moment, but for now, roll me 3d10.
Yes.
You want to roll high for these ones? Oh, that's not bad. You gain that many occult points.
Oh, there we go.
Yep.
So 33.
33. And roll me a d20. Again, want to be high for this one. Okay, you gain 11 Cthulhu Mythos points.
Oh, okay.
Holy macaroni.
Yeah. So, yeah, you the rest of your perspective, you will see Humphrey take out the book, not say anything, look at it, scroll to the back, and then immediately sit back down on his bed, his eyes shifting rapidly over it and murmuring rapidly to himself. If you, click in front of his face, he does not respond to external stimuli.
Can I close the book and take it away from him?
I mean, you can try. I'm going to ask you I'm going to ask you to give me a power roll.
Because, I mean, it looks like it's obviously affecting him some way, so I'd like to get it away from him.
Sure.
I gotta start that up. Just a minute.
Nah, it's fine.
Just very quickly, I would like to apologize. I have a bit of a sore throat, so if you hear a clicking, it's a cough drop in my mouth. So apologies.
It's no problem.
And you said power, right?
Yes, a power roll.
Oh. There we go. Right away.
No.
Unfortunately, no. You don't quite break through.
So just so everybody knows, we've had 3 rolls so far.
You start looking at it too.
This is a good start to the session.
Right, a good start to a session.
So I think do you do bouts of madness for temporary insanity then?
I do that. There's a chart. There's one of those charts has I think you're right. It's the bouts of madness one that has the D100, and then I just roll. I random. Or sometimes if I can find something that really specifically applies to what's happening. So if they're stealing something, and then sometimes I'll give them kleptomania. If I can find something that really specifically fits, but most of the time I'm a random roller till I die. So I just roll on the table.
This is the thing. I'm a narrative GM, and in the community, I mean, I hear a lot of people decry random tables and the randomness of games, and I just think, why are you playing if you don't like the random aspect? Why not just write a story?
Exactly. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's that whole on the rails versus total freedom sort of conversation that is just forever going to be talked about in RPGs. There's a guy, I don't know if anybody watched it, just really quick version. Alistair, you might really particularly. There's a guy named Matt Colville on YouTube. Oh
yes, I love Matt Colville.
Matt, he has a great video describing that, where he basically uses Lord of the Rings as if somebody wanted to write this, it was so much better as a novel series as opposed to forcing your players to go through you have to bring this ring to Mordor and all that stuff. And I thought that was just the perfect analogy. I was like, that is so great and so spot on.
Whereas if anyone tried to do that in a D&D campaign, it would just be like, oh, I cast teleport on an object. Weep.
Yeah.
Goodbye. So I think I'm just going to go for the Bouts of Madness one. There's a larger table that... Oh, wait, I found the Phobias table. I generally prefer randomly rolling on the Phobias table. And then you have it for
Phobias and Manias are really fun. Yeah, they're really fun to play. Yeah.
Actually, you're right about the Mania.
Bothers me when they seem ridiculously unrelated.
Yeah, roll me a D2. Caliginophobia is great.
Who's rolling the D2? Just so...
The D2 is you.
Me. Okay, perfect. I just wanted to make sure.
The D2 is you.
Is there a D2 function? If I roll one D2,
just put in /roll and then 1D2.
So I can write 1D2. That was I didn't know if they allowed that or not. Okay, they do.
They allow you. I've often asked people to roll D13s in the past just because you can.
Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know you could do that on Roll20.
No,
that's one of those things. That's awesome.
I'm 19, for instance, so roll 1D19. Yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. I'm going to start using that.
So, so you've chosen phobias, or I've not chosen. So roll me a D100.
Okay.
Oh, some of these would be really interesting. Yeah, there's a Twitch channel I really like called Encounter Roleplay that if you donate to the channel, you can make them, give them nat 1s, nat 20s, or wild magic surges and crazy stuff.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. So this to a degree makes sense. So as you finish winding up, you have such a sense of strange childlike horror about the bizarre and eldritch machinations that, like, to be clear, this is the margins that Al-Hazrat has written about his own work. He's not specific in any part of this, but the gaps in what he describes are so intensive that it led to you losing that 8 sanity. So you have developed triskaidekaphobia, or the fear of the number 13.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so that was a very childlike fear. So I'll say you recognize this because you are currently in the 13th ward of this hospital, and you see it written above the door.
Okay, Humphrey is going to start. Is he like an IV or anything? I don't know if those were around at the time.
No, you've just been like patched up on the bed.
Okay, so he's immediately going to start, like, without saying anything to anyone, just immediately going to start, like, putting his stuff together, like, getting ready to go. Like, all right, time, we're getting out of here. It's time to go. Like, the minute he sees that 13 on the door. Or above the door, I mean.
Yeah.
So he'll start packing up, and then he'll be like, all right, we have to get out of here. This is not a safe area.
I'll follow him, and I won't say anything for the time being.
Okay. You follow behind him. Humphrey, you head on out and into the street. Give me a luck roll.
Okay. Here we go.
Okay, good. I was going to say if you failed, you're in the 13th arrondissement. No, but I'm going to quickly roll a 1d10 for you. So yeah, you will have the fear of the number 13 for 9 hours.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, you rush on out into the street. The others following behind you, I assume.
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, I mean, it's really your say where you head at this point.
Yeah, so once he's out of there, first Humphrey will sort of check to make sure that he's not on like the 13th Street or in the 13th District or anything. So he'll sort of do this like to everyone else, it'll just look like him just sort of like almost like turning around in circles, like just double checking a bunch of things just to make sure that the number 13 isn't anywhere. And then he'll say, he'll turn around and he'll say, I think we need to. Well, actually, okay. What were our plans for? Well, okay. So I wanted to go to that library, to the occult section, and maybe even more so now. But what else were we going to attempt to do after the funeral?
Well, there's actually a number of things that we have on our list. Are you asking out of character here?
A little bit, because I'm having just a little bit of a problem remembering. And Humphrey probably would as well after reading the Necronomicon. So the notes on the Necronomicon.
There are a couple of things that we had discovered in the funeral that we wanted to ask your occult people if they knew anything about. And that was, so for one of them, we had the symbology of a camel riding among an open book.
Yeah.
We had there's a triangle with the 3-pointed stars with the lines pointing out. We wanted to figure out that. And something that happened to it, my character doesn't know it, but he still thinks that we're going to be trying to get into the mausoleum at midnight to grab that pocketbook, which was stolen by the silver-faced man. He hasn't known that is gone yet.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And also, the main reason why we came here was to visit Vivian's abductor, right? And getting to that house, and we just haven't done that yet.
All right. I think since Humphrey... Okay, well, no, actually, since Humphrey's so freaked out, he probably wouldn't recommend splitting up. I don't know. When I'm freaked out, though, that's when horror. It's usually when people are freaked out in horror movies that they're always like, "Let's split up."
So I see you looking around though, right? You're like looking everywhere. You're looking for the
Yeah, I
number
was like,
13.
yeah, that was the thing. Like, I double check every sign, like each. I don't know if there were street signs or if there are street. I mean, I presume there's street signs in Paris. And so he's just gonna double check that, like, not only is the street we're on not related to 13 at all, but he's also gonna check the cross streets, and he may even like check behind to make sure that the hospital is not at like 1313 this street. So he's going to do quite a bit of checking to make sure that the number 13 is nowhere around him.
So I ask, Humphrey, is there someone after us? Are they looking at us? Are you trying to find them?
Not someone, something. That the number.
Something.
I mean, did you notice we were on the 13th ward? Did you notice that we were on 13th? 13th is bad luck. All right, we've had enough bad luck. We could die if we're anywhere near the number 13.
We could
Okay?
die.
We could die.
We could probably die if we're close to any number.
Well, 13 is specific, though. I mean, how much supernatural stuff has been going on, and you just think it's a coincidence that we were on the 13th floor?
Well, you have a point, I guess. All right, where would you like to go to get away from the number 13?
Well, okay, so my Humphrey's big. Okay, so I think we should go to either. We should probably go to the. Well, what time? Actually, before I do any of that, what time is it?
It's hard to. Oh yeah, you probably have a watch on you actually. It's about. Yeah, I'd say it's about 3:30 in the afternoon. It took you a while to get patched up.
Yeah, well, that it was a pretty harrowing experience last time, so that makes sense.
I'll also say, Olivia and Void, you've gotten lunch in the meantime.
Okay.
So there's still probably a few hours before the library closes, so we could go to the library. I don't know. The place where Vivian got abducted, we might not want to go there during the day, or we might want to go there during the day. I don't.
Well,
Both seem like they have their own pros and cons.
I think we can assume that whoever abducted Vivian isn't going to be there anymore. So we're mainly going there looking for clues. So I'm not entirely sure if the day would be out of the question in this case.
Okay. Well, as long as neither of them are in the 13th neighborhood, I think we'll be okay.
And the library, is this where you go to your occult contacts?
Yes. So at the Marzin Library, I have a professional I wouldn't say that we're quite friends, but yes, my professional contact, Jacques Nod. He is a professional contact that I've had some communications with. I presume he would be willing to help us. I may have to throw a few. You know what though? I may not have to throw him any money. I may be able to, as a fellow bookman, I may be able to send him some stuff from our store as payment in terms of in lieu of cash, because Humphrey has been spending quite a bit of cash recently, if I recall correctly.
This Marzin, or the person, your contact at the library, so I guess I'm just a little concerned because they are into books. Could they possibly be part of this organization, this literary organization, do you think?
I'll be honest, it is possible. However, I think if I went in there under the maybe under the guise of appraising some books that I didn't know anything about, like this text that I have right here, and he's holding the Necronomicon text like very close to him. He just sort of pats it. He's like, this text that I have right here. If I feel like maybe if I go under the the guise of getting it appraised, maybe just going to him as a professional contact, maybe we can avoid that whole conversation, and he won't know any better.
What exactly happened when you looked at that? Because that's when you got up and you ran out.
It's very. He doesn't know how to put it in words, so he just sort of like shakes his head and he's like, it's very intense. It's very. There's a lot of information in here.
Kind of like when I showed you the papers from the story.
Kind of like when imagine that, but more. This is I think we should very soon find a place where these texts can be kept under lock and key. I'm starting to understand a little bit more about why whoever is on the right side, whichever literary circle is on the right side and wants to keep these texts contained. I've had a change of heart. I don't think that these things belong in a museum. I think that these things belong under lock and key.
Well,
and I think whichever side, it's hard to know which side is pushing for that right now.
Even if we do find a place to have it under lock and key, there's always a matter of trust. And do we actually trust the people who are guarding the lock and key? Do you think that we could just put it in the bag for now, since we keep the bag with us pretty much at all times?
I don't know if we want to put it in the bag in the event that anything that I read comes to life.
Should we?
That could be very bad.
Should we like have some sort of backpack or something
that sounds like we should maybe something that we could even something that we could possibly conceal under a shirt. Is there like maybe get this is probably going to sound pretty modern, but maybe a very small backpack that we could wear backwards, so it was on our chest, or it was on one of our chests, and then put the shirt over there,
like a papoose.
Oh yeah, like a papoose.
I mean, perhaps you'd be able to find one in like a Nigerian shop. The trend of Nigerisme has kind of taken off in the French capital recently. Olivia would know, and so it's quite fashionable to see French Parisian women specifically walking around in more African style dresses. So among that could be a suitably small carrying garment.
Well, I tell you what, in London, Tadworth sent me to one of his tailors, and the tailor had some interesting items that he had available, and I'm guessing Tadworth probably knows of someone here in Paris as well, and they might be able to make something for us. But I know this coat that I'm wearing has some pockets that are concealed per se. Do we want to, when we want to hide it, you can probably put it in those pockets.
Yeah, Humphrey trusts Void enough that he'll give him the book, but with the caveat, he'll say, I would highly recommend not reading that.
I have no intention.
All right, so we really, if it's the daytime, we can't do the mausoleum. So we can either go to the library or to the, are either of those in the 13th? I'm going to call it the 13th district, but I'm sure that's not what they call it. But are either of those in the 13th?
Are either of what? Sorry.
The library or the house where he was abducted.
Yeah, funnily enough, the house where he was abducted is in the 13th district.
Okay, so does Humphrey know that?
I'd say, given that was one of the locations that was on the top of your visit list, it does come to mind.
Okay, yeah, so Humphrey's going to say, I don't think we should go to the house because that's in the 13th that's in the 13th, and so I mean, like I said, I think that that would just put us in so much danger. I mean, I can feel the death emanating from that place.
Well, let's go and research the symbology that we ran into at the funeral. That probably is a higher priority at the moment to know what we're dealing with, because we don't have much of an idea yet.
And then Olivia, did we go get your friends at the? Oh no, we didn't need to get your friends at the theater because our mime friend patched the hole up in the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm still. Yeah, that was weird.
All right. If everybody would like to go to the library, I think that seems like a very smart place for us to go and maybe also spend a little bit, maybe not recuperating, but not running around and getting shot at. Hopefully, it's a little bit quieter in the library.
For a change. Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't been there yet, so I'm fine with going there.
Okay. So you all head back round to La Bibliothèque Mazarin. The receptionist greets you all with a cordial smile. Even you, Humphrey, although she seems to be treating you very distantly. So yeah, you. What may I do for you?
Hello. I have a professional acquaintance here. Jacques Nod or Jacques Nod.
Jacques Nod.
Yeah.
He is around.
Oh, okay, perfect. Could you direct me to his office, please?
Of course. I will go up and ask if he wishes to see you. What is your name?
My name is Humphrey Klein. Do I have I presume I have a card.
If you remember, like, this is the same library where you went to, and like this is the same receptionist you went on a date with, and this is.
Oh yeah, it is. Yes, it is.
And
totally,
yes. Yeah.
It's nice to see you again. Nice to see you again. How are you doing?
Like I said, she's being very terse with you.
Yeah.
And because if you remember, it didn't go stunningly well.
No, it didn't. It didn't go well, and I haven't called her, so that's even worse.
Well, it's been like a day or so, hasn't it?
Yeah, that's true.
So you've already left your card with the library. That's what I was getting at. So she can just go up and ask, and she will do.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, you get up to. She comes back down a few minutes later and says, he will see you now.
Oh, okay. Do we? I think we should all go up.
Okay.
I feel like splitting up is a bad idea.
I would agree with that.
I agree.
Second floor, third office on the right.
I never believe in splitting up. See how well it did when Void and I ran off by
That's true. That is so true.
We didn't really split up.
Being fair,
we didn't even really split up, and somehow bad things still happened.
How would Humphrey have added to the basement, do you think?
Or also at the funeral too. They went off to the mausoleum, and I waited outside, and bang, got it. Got banged up quite good.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. Anytime we split up in any regard.
Well, we would have never figured out the Silver Man face took the book if you were there, though, right?
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, have you actually told them about that yet? I don't know if you have.
I don't think I have.
He hasn't.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, you all head upstairs, and Jacques nods. The third office on the right is as the sign would indicate, the office of Professeur Nod, baccalauréat sur les humanités avec l'université de Bordeaux. So yeah, you can knock on the door, and the curt response is, oh oui, qu'est-ce que c'est?
So I presume that he doesn't know me then?
I mean, he's asking who it is at the door.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'll say
you have enough
it is.
French to know as much. You have enough knowledge of French to know as much as the song "Psycho Killer."
Oh, okay. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So I'll say professional acquaintance Humphrey Klein.
Ah, I have heard of your bookshop. Please, come in, come in. As you enter in and you expose the others, he nods to Void and greets Olivia very warmly. You can tell he's perhaps seen a performance of yours before and enjoyed it. He has that, even though he doesn't mention it. He seems to know you by name already, anyway. So yeah.
Yeah, I'll say obviously my associate Olivia here needs no introduction. You seem to have she's very well known. This is my good friend and Mr. Void.
I'll shake his hand.
He responds, shakes it back. Lovely to meet you. Yes, I saw Miss Void's production of the my Shakespeare is very fading. No, Lady Macbeth. You are Lady Macbeth. A great degree of range, I thought it showed. So yeah, he then sits back down and offers you all seats and says, "So, what can I help you with?"
I had some books that had recently come into my store, and I had my son telegram me over some descriptions, and unfortunately, we're having a hard time placing exactly who these books belong to and who we should be selling them to. They seem to have an occult bend, so I thought you might be able to help us.
I have some degree of knowledge, as you know. My expertise has mainly come to focus on the on African specialities. So if they are more European, you may wish to try my acquaintance Mademoiselle Girard next door. You what are they though? I can still have a look at them.
Yes, so we got a book recently that on the inside cover had quite an interesting symbol stamped, and we were wondering if you could give us any information on the symbol. Now, just out of character, really quick, did anybody draw the camel on the book symbol, or do we just have it in our memory banks?
I saw the symbol on both a ring and the tie.
But yeah, so you have a visual memory of it.
Yeah. So it was just yeah. So I'll sort of Humphrey will do his best to sort of describe the camel walking on the book.
Well, does he have? Can we ask for some paper and something to write with? Maybe drawing it out might help a little bit.
Yeah, he hands it over.
I'll draw out the camel riding among an open book.
Art and craft roll.
Could be, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say art and craft roll, drawing as you've have it in your memory. I'll say it's a +10. I will say, unless you massively fumble, it'll still be a relatively decent depiction. So just don't fumble and draw like a series of lines.
So art and craft defaults at 5%. You just want me to just roll a d20 or roll a
just
100?
Just roll 1d100, and if you get 15 or below, you've passed. So yeah, it's a very basic and squiggly drawing, and it kind of shows that perhaps you weren't the most visual learner even as a child, but you can still transfer the basic notion of animal with hump and curved neck on top, 2 square. But yeah, he kind of looks down towards it curiously, looks back up towards you, and has a little think about it. Great. He smiles and turns the paper back round towards you and says, it is interesting you bring this to me. As I have said, I am an expert on, I have a predilection towards African cults. And this is a very large African one indeed.
Well, can you tell us about it or supply some reading materials in regards to it?
The reading materials are currently based around the occult section, which, as I am sure you know, and no small annoyance to me, is currently on lockdown. I do have a small quantity of volumes here. It kind of indicates to the bookshelves around him, some of which would concern this cult, but I do not wish to learn them. I'm sure you can understand.
Wait, you don't want to learn? Why is that?
Loan.
Oh.
Loan them out. Yeah.
Misheard.
It is all right. The cult in question is it is based in Morocco. It is referred to in English as the cult of the Archdune. And the cult of the Archdune represents its infrastructure is very much based around arched dune. So yes, just add ed to the end of your arch.
Gotcha.
It is based around manipulating the infrastructure of ancient empires that have been present in the region far before. Par example, in the area of Morocco, it is very well known for using the underground tunnels, catacombs, and buried cities beneath the sands that the Carthaginians would have made, naturally then being present in the region. Accordingly, by the way, do tell me if the French accent gets too impenetrable.
No.
Accordingly, they tend to write their missives and their description in Carthaginian, which is not a language very commonly associated to a wide degree of antiquities. It is especially annoying for those only versed in Latin or Greek or Old French to attempt to interpret. Very based in Old Berber tradition. However, I have tracked a degree of activity that the cult of the Archdune has been involved in. They are not a purely literary society. They are concerned with the control and analysis of multiple tomes and ancient aspects of knowledge. They when the you have heard, I take it, of the Umayyad Caliphate.
Can you say that again?
Have we?
Humphrey would have heard of the Umayyad Caliphate. I don't think Void or Olivia may have done. You know the Moors. It was them. They were the Umayyad Caliphate, and like they were the Muslims who ruled in Spain at that time. So Humphrey, you'd know that they were basically like 5th to 9th century. And for a while, they were kind of the cradle of civilization in the world. That was where most advances in medicine or science or art were made. When the Moors were forced to leave Iberia as part of Le Reconquista, they found themselves drifting closer towards Morocco. There are multiple scholars in the Arabic world of old, particularly during the Golden Age of Islam, Sorry, that would be Dizlam. That quote of okay. That quote about things concerning l'occult, and the much of the writing was taken back to the area of Tangier, Morocco, in that time. Accordingly, they have sought to maintain these writings, keep them personal and safe. You have heard, I take it, of of Omar Khayyam. Humphrey would have done. He's the writer of such poetry as the Rubaiyat, and he also was known for being a mathematician and astronomer.
Oh, okay.
There was a whole section of works by Omar Khayyam that concerned the manipulation and the diversion of particular solar patterns that was to be of great importance. The Spanish sent an entire battalion of men towards it, but the Moors were so desperate to keep that knowledge hidden that they collapsed a mountain atop the Spanish pursuers. However, I have had reason to believe that the manuscript has made its way back to Morocco and is now in the hands of the Archduke. Something that you, as I'm sure you can understand, I take a great interest in something that causes a large empire to send a mountain atop their own men to keep it hidden.
So, where was the last place that this cult was known to be working? I will say, and if at any point you want me to roll some sort of acting or something along those lines for all this lying.
I won't say there's lying at all. I mean, what are you trying to conceal from him?
I guess I'm just trying to make it seem like our questions are more about books that I'm trying to sell, as opposed to us getting information for our own adventures.
In that case, just give me a general persuade roll.
Okay. Yeah. So, let me roll it first. Boom. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Oh, hooray! Yeah, he seems fairly happy to not question your purposes and supply the information he has already.
Yeah, and like Humphrey will just offhand mention, he'll just be like, as you know, many of our buyers like to know a little bit about the history of the books. That's part of the fun of searching out these tomes. So as much information as I can get, that would be great. So where was the last place that this cult was known to be active?
They are obviously very vraiment secretive. We have tracked their movements across the spine of Morocco. In short, everywhere that there has been a detailed French government presence, we have discovered their corruption, which includes Morocco, Côte d'Ivoire, all along the spine, even closer to the region of Sicily and Tripoli and Tunis. We have discovered the remnant of Carthaginian cities and towns buried beneath the sands that they have manipulated to their own presence. They are usually relatively docile. They largely concern themselves with the adoption of texts. The vast majority of their crimes concern robbery of government documents, which naturally is a raison suffisant for the French government to place them at a higher priority. Like most governments, we do not desire our secrets being stolen.
Absolutely, and so they make no attempt to hide these texts. They steal them to make them readily available. Is that what I'm understanding?
No, they steal them to preserve them for their own knowledge. I have
okay.
A while ago, and at that he kind of he does the thing where he almost reveals a memory that you can kind of tell even with your passive psychology. He almost says something that is obviously painful to him, but then shakes his head and realizes he's not going to say it to you and moves on. I have made attempts to investigate them before. It has been to a minimized avail.
I will look to Olivia and Void as if to say, do we have any further questions about this specific topic?
So this cult, can we classify them as being either good, bad, or indifferent? I mean,
It is hard to specify the relative goodness, badness, or indifference of most cults. I would say they are not as bad as as other cults I've met. In my time conversing with them, and at that he kind of looks around and notably leans back and like shuts the window that before was open. In my time conversing with them, I have led them to believe that they have connections with the cult of le Lion Noir, le Lyonnais Noir. Or rather, sorry, hang on, that might not be it. My French is old and bad, as you can obviously tell. Let me just check. Lyon. I was correct. Hooray. Le Lion Noir. And Humphrey, you can give me an occult roll.
Boom.
Oh, I mean, Void, you can give me one as well. But
oh, okay. Might as well try.
Even with my extra points, it's still a fail.
Even with your extra points, yeah, that's annoying.
Mm.
Yeah. Neither of you have heard. Wait, Olivia's actually got pretty good at cult as well. I imagine she'd want to if she was here, so I'll roll on her behalf.
Hey.
Oh! In that case, she will know things about Le Lion Noir when she returns. For now, though, she's remaining silent, and neither of you have heard anything about it. He just sort of says it, and then kind of follows up afterwards by saying, they are a cult that has interesting predilection.
Can you tell us about it?
They have been responsible for, or at least we believe them to be responsible for, multiple abductions sur la région au Tangier.
So they've done abductions before. Who have they abducted and why?
Their pattern is incredibly erratic. Dock workers, politicians, shop workers, peasants. In truth, I am not incredibly sure what connects the people. We know only that they are taken at night, and a sound of a loudness sounds in the area which they enter and do not return from.
Does this cult have any symbols associated with it?
A black lioness. Not a symbol, but where officers have attempted to pursue their agents before, they have often been violently intercepted by ebony lionesses, the type of which naturalists have not observed in the region normally.
Okay. So what would be the connection between the cult of the Archdoon and this cult? I mean, why would they be communicating?
We do not know. At a guess, the cult of the Black Lioness has far more reach than they do. They are far more active and expansive. It may simply be a case of alliance of resources. The cult of the Archdoon have they are old. They do not replace members as quickly as they hemorrhage them.
Do we know what they want? I mean, are they after something? Are they there to protect something? Are they there for some other reason?
I have no idea. You must understand that all of my investigations have been boxing at shadows. I am one man. I can barely receive funding for more traditional investigations, never mind jetting around Morocco seeking cults.
Fair enough. And I still have that paper that I drew that one symbol on. Can I
Yeah.
draw the triangle, the three-pointed star with the lines pointing out that I had seen
Sure,
as well?
I'd say that's a simple enough depiction that you don't need to make a roll for it.
Okay.
He looks it up and down. You are sure you saw this?
Yeah.
Under what context?
At a funeral. That's what the context was, believe it or not.
Whose funeral?
That was Jack Louet.
He looks towards Humphrey with a confused expression.
Yes, we were going to purchase some books from him in the near, or from his estate in the near future, and so we just wanted to. We read in the paper that some stuff has been going on here recently, and so we just wanted to make sure we weren't, getting involved with somebody we shouldn't be getting involved in. And we saw that we were invited to his funeral by his estate, and we just wanted to double check. You know how it is. Sometimes you buy from people that you shouldn't have bought from. And he sort of gives him a look.
He kind of returns the look blankly. I should explain as well, Jacques Nouard is a relatively older-looking man, kind of bald at the top, graying sideburns, kind of mellow brown eyes, and quite a paunch and an elderly sort of academic disposition. And yeah, he looks over towards you. Do you mean Jacques-Louis Comtois?
Yeah.
Yes, sorry.
Yeah, I was unclear. That is a worrying context then. This, at that, he bites his lip again and says, "It is a sign you should move away from."
It's a sign that you should move away from?
Yes, avoid.
I don't understand.
I do not wish to say more. Go. He kind of waves you aside at that.
All right. I guess I'll step out then. He obviously doesn't want to talk to us.
Okay.
And then just before we go, I'll say, just before we go, I had, or actually, no, you know what? I'll say, could we, if we find any more, and you said that your neighbor could help us out with any of the, if we had any European occult things. Does she keep regular business hours or office hours? I mean.
The directoress. I believe she said recently that she was launching an investigation related to a cult endemic to this very city.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So she may be out and about. I do not know.
Well, we've obviously taken up too much of your time as is. I think we'll be heading out. Thank you very much. This any clients that are interested in putting are interested in making a bid on this item will definitely have much more information now, which will help both me and my clients. So I'd like to thank you very much, sir.
Of course. He stands, shakes your hand. So yeah, as you head outside, why don't you give me a luck roll? This can be both Void and Klein.
Come on.
No.
Unlucky.
Yeah. So yeah, you head outside. The hallway is perfectly normal and sparse.
Yeah, sorry about that. I thought I'd just try and ask, but I probably
no. I
said too
mean, at
much.
least we know now to keep that they are potentially very dangerous. It sounds like these the cult of the Archdoom is not maybe necessarily our biggest concern. It sounds like this other cult
Yeah.
is the bigger concern. Yeah. Well,
Well,
we
I mean,
didn't
if they're
get
working
much on the
together,
Bastille Literary Society, but that's okay.
yeah, it obviously sounds like they're working together. Now, he mentioned something. He mentioned a section of his occult books are locked down. What do you mean by that?
No, the whole occult section is locked down. We found that out the last time we came to the library. They said it had something to do with the recent investigation and not much else. That was why I went on the date with the librarian, was because the occult section was closed and I needed to look at the books.
Did you look at the books?
I think we did find out some information about them. I'm looking in my notes, but
That was where you basically learned about the Bastille Literary Society, like where their origins were, that they originated around the storming of the Bastille, that all of their their bookcases were removed from their
yes.
cells and.
Oh yeah, here it is. Yeah, so they were a
yeah.
collection of nobles who were stationed at the Bastille. They were mainly authors and journalists. They all mysteriously vanished, but all of their cells were on the ground floor, and they had a bunch of books and bookcases, but they were also missing, and it was distinctly drafty. So maybe we should go check out the Bastille and see if there's even possibly a way to get in, if that's still a accessible tunnel.
Give me an education check.
Oh, okay.
I'll say this is a fairly easy one. Yeah, the reason that the storming of the Bastille is such a big event is that they very quickly turned it into a large pile of rubble. And it now remains a large pile of rubble that has been there for a few hundred years and so is completely innavigable.
Ah, okay.
So, to make sure I understand, there's an investigation going on in relation to the Bastille Literary Society that has the occult books on lockdown?
Well, I don't know that it has to do specifically with the Bastille. We're not sure of that. That part is not that we don't know that. That link's not. I mean, we can assume that because the head of the occult library is doing an investigation on a cult that's quote in town, and this is a cult that's in town and has to do with the occult section. So we probably know that, but we don't have that confirmed.
They didn't mention what investigation was going on that had the books on lockdown.
No, everybody here at the library has been kind of tight-lipped about what the investigation exactly is. Kind of like the person's office we just came from. Excuse me.
Well, so I guess we needed to prepare tonight to see if we can, and I don't say this too loud, to get into the mausoleum, right? To get the book.
Well, I've been looking for an appropriate time to tell you guys, but I don't believe that the notebook is no longer in there. We should find a place
Wait, what?
where I can tell you what happened last night that isn't in the middle of a library.
Well, is there a lot of people here at this library?
Give me a luck roll.
Oh, hey.
It's practically vacant. Pretty much just the people in their offices.
Oh, okay. I will pull I'll pull Olivia and Void into like a stack of books, and I'll say, well, first he'll make sure that he's not in the 13s.
Okay. Oh, also, now that Olivia's come back, I think we should handle this before I forget.
Sure.
Olivia, during the conversation, I rolled an occult check for you because I assumed you'd want to make one when it became relevant.
Oh, thank you. I'm so sorry.
And you got a hard success, so that was fun as well.
Oh my.
So yeah, you know a fair bit about a cult called Le Lion Noir, or as it's translated into English, the Black Lioness. And basically, you have heard of them in the context of basically, like, I'm kind of unsure how to phrase this, but, you know, actors have orgies sometimes. And would it be inappropriate to say that Olivia may have attended one, like as a social event?
I imagine, like, especially at this time, they would have, had like an after party, and she would have gone and then been like, wow, what is going on? But
yeah.
Okay. So her being there isn't implausible. That's true.
True. So at one of these parties, you would have heard of Le Lion Noir in that context. And you may have wandered by accident into a room full of people engaged in amorous congress in front of a depiction of a large black rearing lioness with various teats that are very extended and distended and covered in a variety of suckers. So it's a distinctly strange cult, but fertility related. So that's, and actually at a hard success, you'll also know that you've heard of them being connected to potential abductions of people in the African region, which the professor's conversation would have then confirmed immediately after it came to your mind.
And just so that she's aware, he was talking about this cult has been known to abduct people.
Yeah, you've spelt it exactly correct, yes. Le Lion Noir.
Yeah, so I'm sorry. So what the guy had said about them was that they abduct people sometimes?
He knows that they're a fertility cult that abducts people, and when they are abducted, the sound of a lioness is often heard, and when officers go in pursuit of one of their agents, said officers are often physically assaulted by an ebony lioness. And ebony lionesses are very rare and mainly seen in South America, so it's strange that they'd be in North Africa.
Yeah, I was thinking, where do you even get a black lion, right?
Well, he also said that the cult of the Archdoon had some sort of association with this cult.
They go to, cult conventions together.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
He wouldn't tell us too much, though. So
he got quite annoyed and asked you to leave.
Yeah.
Oh dear, what annoyed him?
I did, as usual, but that's my charming personality.
Yeah. So yeah, Humphrey's kind of pulled you to the side and is going to tell you about something.
Yeah, so I will recount. Humphrey will recount his story of being hit by the car. So he will say, I saw the somebody come out of the church and hand a man with no. I think I did tell you guys about the man with the silver face because Void, I remember you asking like he had no face, and I was like, no, he had no face. It was just silver face. So
I think I saw it as well. Yeah.
yeah, and so I saw somebody come out of the church, out the back alley, give the man with the silver face the notebook.
I think it was the priest who came out and gave him.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So the priest came out, gave him the book, and that's when they noticed me. And that's when they tried to kill me because they noticed that, or they saw that I saw them giving the notebook to the silver-faced man. So the good news is we don't have to break into the mausoleum theoretically.
The bad news
unless
is they have the notebook.
Is that they have the notebook. Yep. So a bit of a good news, bad news situation.
Mostly bad news. There's no good
Mostly
news
bad.
there.
Well, the good news is that we don't have to break into a mausoleum, which just sounds like an opportunity for something to come back to life and kill us.
The opportunity to break into a mausoleum for a notebook would be a good thing.
I mean, if we still want to break into the mausoleum and just check out if he has anything else on him, I'll keep watch again.
There was something really weird going on with his body. So if we would have gotten in there, if someone was a medical professional, which I don't think we have with us at the moment.
Not anymore, no.
Not anymore.
Yeah, right, yeah.
We might want to look into that. But
Olivia has some points
Oh,
in first aid.
Hey, Olivia can do it. But
oddly, every time I have decent points in it, but every time I've rolled it, I've just been like,
You rolled first aid and injured Humphrey, yeah.
So, Humphrey, that symbol, that triangle, the one that he told us to get out on, that's what his vertebrae were doing. It was rearranging themselves, or something was going on in his back.
So I guess the question is, are we going to follow his advice and stay away from that, or are we going to go check out what happened to the body?
Why would we stay away from it? Of course.
I mean, because he told us to. Because he just said stay away from it. Because the guy in the that was a part of the library that we discussed. When we were talking to the occult section guy, we brought up the star shape triangle thing, and that was actually what made him mad and kick us out. Is he just said to stay away from it, and then Void kind of pushed him on why to stay away from it, and then he waved us out of the office. Yeah, and he waved us out of the office. So we don't know exactly why we're supposed to stay away from that, but he told us to stay away from it. Now, he could also be a member of that cult and is saying stay away from it so he doesn't get caught. So
I mean,
maybe we should break into the mausoleum.
If you want, you can give me a psychology roll.
Yeah. I don't know. For some reason, I don't pop it out.
I mean, I wasn't there, but I would have been there.
You would have been there, so you can give me one as well if you'd like. No, sorry.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, indeed. I mean, being fair, Void, your psychology's not terrible, is it?
Okay, I can try.
Hey, your psychology is very good, actually. Both of your guys' psychology. My psychology is 10, so.
Yeah. Humphrey just doesn't understand people.
He gets books, but not people.
So, yeah, Void, you can kind of tell that you're not entirely sure if, you don't think he's part of the cult per se, but you think he's personally connected to it in a way that makes him divulging information about it embarrassing or potentially self-endangering.
Actually, I kind of got that impression.
Yeah.
In listening
so I've just confirmed your impression.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, Mr. So, out of curiosity, just so I can sort of keep it, is it still daylight?
Yeah. It's still
So
it's later into the afternoon.
we could go. Well, no, Humphrey won't go. Humphrey will say, if you guys, I mean, I know we shouldn't split up, but I am not going to the 13th district under any circumstances. And when he says that, even though he's already checked, he double checks to make sure he's not in this 13 stacks. He just double checks, like he just one quick, like 1-2, just to make sure. And I'm not gonna go there, but if you guys wanted to go to the house, there's still time left, but I also know that maybe splitting up. However, if we went back to the townhouse first, we technically wouldn't be splitting up, and he sort of puts that in quotes, because I would be at the house, relatively safe with possibly Tim the mime if he's still there, and with the house warden and stuff, and you guys would be together. So we wouldn't be splitting up, but we would kind of be splitting up.
Tim the mime.
I meant mine. Sorry.
Well, I understand you have concerns about the number 13, but you were hired to go and investigate the knowledge that we got from Vivian, right? And this is the single clue that he gave us.
He just starts shaking his head. Yeah, I'm not going into the 13th district. No. Nope. Not happening. Out of character, I'll say it'll probably happen in 10 hours, but you don't know that.
Yeah, no, yeah, I know.
In 10 hours, he'll probably do it, but I was like, right now, Humphrey is no-go.
But Boyd doesn't know this, so he's
I thought it was only 9
Yeah, but Boyd doesn't know that, exactly, yeah. Yeah.
Well,
yeah, and you're right, it's probably, you're right. Olivia, not Olivia, Gab is probably 100% right. It's like now, at this point, it's like 6 hours, but still.
Right.
Well, okay, so also there's one other thing. Remember when I threw the note down asking them to send up someone we could talk to avoid us coming down there?
Oh, yes. I do, actually.
Well,
after that is when we got our smarmy notes.
Yeah, we had gotten a response in an olive, strangely enough, telling us not to come down. However, that doesn't really address our request for them to send someone up, so I'm not entirely sure what to make of that.
We also sent a telegram to Tadworth asking him to stop by whenever he could, so we should probably go back to the house too and check if he's
Well, that was just this morning that we sent him a telegram to Paris, right? Or to London, I mean.
Was it or was it yesterday? Because I was in the hospital.
No,
because wasn't it before we went to the funeral?
It was the day of the funeral, and today is still the day of the funeral, isn't it?
Was it? I thought we had. Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, wait. I'm sorry. I was confused. Did I spend the night in the hospital or just the day in the hospital?
Because I don't think we've gone back.
You just spent sort of a few hours.
Oh, okay. Sorry, that was you're 100% right, Boyd.
About the fact that it was being paid for and you didn't want to stay.
Yes, you're right. Yeah, sorry, that was totally my misunderstanding. Apologies. Yeah, so you're right. He's probably hasn't gotten back to us yet. So I just meant that like Humphrey's not going to the 13th district. So if you guys wanted to do that, or but it is getting, he'll like look at his watch and it is sort of getting later, not late, but we also have time to kill before, because you said you wanted to go to the mausoleum at midnight, right? So we've got like 7 or 8 hours to kill.
So the only thing that we can do at the mausoleum is have Olivia dissect the body, right? And I'm not sure if that would necessarily be a wise use of getting caught.
I don't think she's going to be able to do that either with like.
Well, why don't we?
She has.
Well, if your medical knowledge comes more in like helping people give birth than helping dissect bodies.
what if we took the
Right.
body?
What would we do with the body?
Take it back home, and then, well, not our home, to Tadworth's home, and then maybe we could find somebody that might be able to tell us a little bit what's going. We could probably get a vet or something. Slip him some money. Kind of like we could find a mob doctor or the
Go
equivalent
back
of
to
in
that
Paris.
doctor that I knocked up early in the morning.
Yeah, there we go. We have.
Boyd just kind of looks wide-eyed.
Sorry, I just read what you put in the chat, and that's fantastic.
Right.
Boyd just looks kind of wide-eyed at Humphrey and like with this gleam in his eye, like you're crazy.
Just the "It's Always Sunny" music starts playing in the background. That would be just fantastic. Well, here's the thing. Here's sort of my line of thought is that if these are bad guys and he's involved with them, then there's a chance that they are going to be tipped off about us. So finding out as much information about this cult that we're supposed to stay away from is probably in our best interest, because if he's working with them in any capacity, then they might know about us already. So that was my only thing is like,
well, I'm lacking some context. Who's he? Who are you
Yeah,
talking
who-
about?
oh, I'm sorry. The Mr. Nod, the guys whose office we just came from.
Oh. You think that we just kind of tipped him off? No, well, I kind of got the impression that he knew him, but he wasn't part of him.
Oh yeah, but even if he knows them, that he might feel some obligation to tip them off
So
if we were asking about them.
So can
That's
I
what I
ask,
meant.
where are you heading at this point in time then? While
I
you're
think
just-
we're
Well,
still
yeah,
in
that's
the
what
library,
we're. Yeah, that's.
aren't we?
Yeah, we're still in the library. So we're really the question is: are we going home, or are we going to the, or are you guys going to the house? Because right now there's not much else we can do.
Well,
I think we should go back to the house personally.
Okay.
well,
The town
I'm
house.
an idiot, so I defer to whatever you two decide.
All right. Yeah, let's go back to the townhouse, and then we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
So as you go to the townhouse,
Wait, oh, is
who
this
would
a townhouse, or I thought this was like his estate, Tadworth's estate
no
or something?
like Tadworth has a townhouse in Paris.
Okay,
It's not as large as the one in London.
okay.
So yeah, you head back round to the townhouse, and when you're kind of walking on the street together, who do you think would be in the front?
I don't know. Like, I
Well-
kind of feel gut feeling is maybe Humphrey, because he's checking to make sure that they aren't on any 13th streets.
that
Just
that makes
constantly,
sense.
like every single street. I'm not kidding. Like at every single street crossing, he double checks the signs
Yeah, and
to
That's
make
we're
sure
just,
that
we're just
none of them are
following
13th Avenue.
we're just following him because we have no idea how we're
Yeah.
getting home with
What-
him like
what-
this.
What about houses with the number 13 on them?
For houses with the number 13 on it, he will quite literally like jog past them. Like he'll be walking like a normal person, and then all of a sudden he'll catch something out of the corner of his eyes, and then he'll just start jogging until he
Okay.
gets like a good half a block past it.
That's wonderful.
Oh dear.
So yeah, why don't Humphrey give me a listen check?
Okay.
Are you a good listener, Humphrey?
I am going to spend the luck because I'm really close. So that's
7?
Seven, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 7. I'll spend the 7.
So in that case,
I have quite a bit of luck, so I'm okay.
as you reach near the townhouse, you hear the receptionist inside suddenly and dramatically hyperventilating. Like the door is shut, but inside you can hear her like.
I'll sort of stop Olivia and Void, and I'll say, "Do you guys hear that? Somebody's like whimpering in there very loudly."
Do we hear it?
Yeah, once he draws your attention to it, you do.
She's in there with someone.
Oh my
And
god.
Should we go, or should we try and
Well-
sneak around and see what's happening through a window?
Yeah, exactly. And I want to get my. Oh, I don't have. Yeah, go around to the back, look through the window.
Okay.
Humphrey will say, okay, I'm gonna stand right at the front door and just block it in case anybody tries to come out.
Okay.
Nobody, and he'll look at Olivia and Void, and he'll say, nobody leave the outside of the house. Like, you should, at any time,
Okay.
you should be able to touch a wall of the house.
So, Void, give me a stealth check if you're trying to remain secretive.
Trying.
Trying, succeeding. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you head round the side and look in through the kind of like the living room window, and it takes you a bit of squinting, but off towards the kind of like the middle back, you see the receptionist, her skirt and face torn, and in fact, the huge rip along the seam of her tights is kind of collapsed over a chair, slightly bloodied and gasping, panicked. Give me a spot hidden roll. You don't see the full body, but you see what seems to be a distended, like lifeless hand flopped backwards, with the noted jacket and pale complexion of Tim.
Oh dear.
So, do I see anyone else in there with Tim and
No,
her?
you see that like a lot of the furniture has been torn down and destroyed. You don't see anything else.
Crap. All right, well, I'll go back around. Looks like Tim's dead, and she has been hurt. So I tell that to Humphrey as I'm going in. And Olivia, if she's there. Where are you, Olivia? I have no idea where Olivia is.
If we think somebody's in the house, I'm staying with one of you, so I guess I'm still with Humphrey.
Okay. So I come back and say that, and she's hurt in there. We need to check it out.
Did you see an intruder or anything?
No, just Tim and her.
Okay.
That's what I saw, right? Just Tim and her.
You saw like Tim's very still sleeve and hand,
Yeah.
and a lot of the furniture torn apart and destroyed, a fair amount of blood, and her on the floor panicking.
Okay. So I will go in and I will go to that room.
Yeah, you walk inside. She kind of very hurriedly scrabbles over to you, jumps into your arms, and begins weeping.
Okay. What happened?
Uh, a savage, a brute. He came from the elevator.
How?
I. She becomes inconsolable.
We better
you see
go
that there are-
investigate.
You see that there are large, three-bladed gashes, like someone's drawn a trident down her arm,
Oh, Christ.
or an animal has slaked across her.
Can someone check Humphrey, Olivia? Can you see if he's still, or not Humphrey, Tim. Can you check Tim to see if he's dead?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
Olivia.
a good point. Yeah, I'll go
Yeah,
anyway.
Olivia. Well, Olivia, why don't you, since you have some first aid, maybe you can apply some first aid to the housemaiden, and I'll just go.
Okay.
I'll do a first aid roll just to see if I can check his pulse.
Okay, so you go around, and as you see the body of the man that was once Tim, I'm going to need you to make me a sanity roll.
Oh, okay. So I don't know if I'll even have to take a pulse.
It's doubtful. Yeah.
Holy
sanity
crap,
not
your
doing
fan
too
is
well.
14?
Yeah, it's getting bad.
It's now 10.
Oh God.
We need to pack you in a sanitarium and leave you there.
Yeah, it's getting to that point.
Yeah.
And Void's face just kind of goes white, and a realization comes over him, and he just says mayhem, and he walks out of the room, and he tries to find his dog.
Oh, that's a good point. Give me a luck roll. Mayhem is missing.
Oh, shit. Okay, I'll call for him.
Yeah, you call. There isn't a response.
Shit.
Maybe chase them down.
Give me a spot hidden roll. Void.
No.
Sorry, you can't pick up his trail. Actually, yeah. Why don't you give me like a track roll?
Oh,
That's
okay.
more bounty hunter tracking people related.
That's to
Oh,
say, he's actually good at tracking too.
yeah. You know the trails that Mayhem leaves, and you see a variety of them, kind of like claws scraping and scratching along the floor, until he reaches about the midway point of the living room, at which point the tracks become willing and normal, and they move towards the elevator.
Oh, no. They have Mayhem.
So
Guys.
anyway,
Okay.
Void. Sorry, can I describe?
Yeah.
Klein, as you round the corner, you see the body of Tim, and it is a horrifying sight. He, most of his intestines have been torn out from the front of his chest and splayed across the floor. His left arm has been ripped directly through the middle, the tendons slicing and pulling apart, kind of like melted cheese. His elbow has shattered into a fine powder across the floor, and it's clear that even if that wasn't the central wound, the combined two would have caused him to just pass out from blood loss in a very short amount of time.
Jeez. Okay.
And then promptly death would have followed.
Yeah, so he'll sort of stumble back out and just be like, yeah, I don't think he'll say to because since I think Void has got, he'll just say to Olivia, just between gags, he'll say like, I don't think that you're gonna need to focus on Tim.
Oh, it's terrible. Well, let me see about your arm then, I say to the lady, and I get some stuff and start trying to fix her up.
The lady's name is Jean, by the way.
I thought it was Jean, and then everyone kept calling her just the lady, and then I started doubting myself.
It was no. It was because I didn't remember. So there you go. Yeah.
No, it's fine. I just wasn't sure either.
So give me a first aid roll.
I hope I don't hurt her worse, poor thing. Oh God!
You don't hurt her, but like you can't make any ingress.
Oh, this is just a terrible wound. We might need to get her to a doctor too, but I don't know how to explain it.
Klein, you look back round towards Tim, your vision kind of drawn again. Give me a spot hidden. I'll let Void make one as well as he kind of walks back towards you. Okay. Klein, you spot the fact that Tim's fingers, you kind of piece back together where his arms would have been before, assuming that, like, at one point they were crossed in front of his chest. And you see that they had formed a square. And on the ground next to him, you spot something which seems to be a thin strip of film, almost like camera film.
I will go and pick it up.
I mean, you've seen camera film before. It's pretty much the same.
Okay, I will pocket it and make sure that it stays close.
Yeah. So anyway, at that point, Void walks over to you.
We gotta go down there now, and we're gonna kill them.
Wow. Okay. You know what? I'm actually kind of okay with this. After his sanity is so low, I think he's like okay.
Yeah.
Are you sure going alone is the best idea?
Oh, I don't
What?
think going alone is the best idea. Yeah.
Alone? We're gonna be together.
That's what I mean. The three of us alone.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah.
Well, I don't think the police are gonna help us go down there. I'm not sure we'd want them with us, considering.
This is where it's really hard not to, be a normal person instead of a Call of Cthulhu investigating. Because I'm like, there's a murdered person in the living room.
Well,
What does the opening look like? I still
Well,
can't figure
it
out how
was
they
boarded
managed
over
to.
with invisible boards, so those boards.
As
I'm
you
assuming aren't
run
there.
your hand over there, you note that there's now no barrier
Yeah.
anymore. Although, as you move your feet, you will end up like inadvertently pushing your toe against numerous cracked splinters and boards that you cannot see.
Voight goes and gets his shotgun, or rifle, I guess.
Being fair,
Uh,
you technically never threw away the shotgun that you wrestled from the man that you shot through the face with it.
Well, so the question would be, can I get through town without people? Can I have it under my coat?
Yeah, it's a sawn-off double barrel, and this is the 20s, so all coats are like big navy coats with big interior pockets.
Yeah, they're specifically designed for hiding your sawed-off
For
shotgun.
hiding sawed-off shotguns in them. Yeah, you've got like a mafia coat, so yeah, you can just slip it in there, pick up some shells for cheap at the local gun shop.
Well, I still want to go and get Conwell, right? Because
Yeah.
that is my item.
Yeah.
So I get ready, and my intent is to fully go down there. And I assume that the elevator is now at the bottom.
Oh, all three of you did this when I first made the campaign, but I've realized that we haven't done it for Olivia. So, Olivia, would there be any specific item that she would have that would mean a lot to her? Like that perhaps she'd have brought over to Paris, or that she'd keep on her, at least in her house, or fairly regularly.
Didn't she have a necklace? I thought I remember something mentioned at one point about a necklace.
Oh, that
of
was
hers, but-
stolen when
Yeah.
my room
Oh,
got
okay.
broken into. Yeah.
Yeah.
Never mind.
No, it's
I mean-
fine. I was like, you're right, I did, but now I can't remember what that was. But then I remember.
No. Okay, so something else apart from that. You don't have to answer just now. You can think about it.
All right.
Okay. So, what are people saying in the meantime?
Well,
I don't understand how they were able to get the elevator down there to ride it up.
Yeah, so I was
That is a
gonna
good question.
ask, is the elevator at the bottom now?
No, it's still at the top.
They climbed up.
What?
Or they flew up. Given everything, I have no idea how they got through, but that doesn't matter.
yeah. It doesn't. Yeah, that part. Well, I mean, it matters in the sense that we really can't stay here anymore, I think.
Right?
Obviously.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, you're right. I don't know. I mean,
Well, let's go. The elevator the floor on it's still broken, so we need to try and be careful. I don't know if we can take some of the broken invisible boards and put them over the hole so that we don't fall through the elevator.
We should have just repaired it the real way, and
Yeah,
that way
yeah.
we'd have had an elevator.
Yep. We did it the mime way, so
We still don't understand how, and now he's dead.
poor Tim. Yeah, is there
His corpse looks up at you judgmentally.
Is there any way that we can do something for the elevator so we don't start falling through it and have to grab each other trying to get down?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if any skill at all would relate to repairing things.
Mech repair?
Um,
I don't know what that
mech,
is.
that's
Mechanical.
like machine repair,
Okay.
mechanical repair. Yeah. So I don't know. Is there a different kind of? There's electrical repair. That's definitely not relevant. Sure. Let's say like mechanical repair. That seems sufficient. Anyone can give me a mechanical repair roll to try and.
We should all probably try this because we probably
I
don't
doubt
have big
any of us
mechanical
have it.
repair. Oh, not me!
Oh, wow! You actually
Oh,
have
no.
some.
Yeah. I mean, he drives a van. Yeah. What? What is wrong with
There we go. There we go.
So, Olivia, you have like enough relevant knowledge from like seeing people
Set
do stage
design,
production, set design, yeah, that you can gather up some nearby planks, even a few of the invisible ones, and like roll up the sleeves on your elegant Parisian dress. Given that you haven't changed from earlier, it's still the
Right.
same, like beautiful black dress, nails in the mouth, hammer away, and just completely surpass the boys as you create this new elevator floor.
See, she's amazing. Is like this the whole time last time. She is like all over it. She doesn't like going down there, but it does something to her that makes her amazing. So
Yeah. I like how the fact as well that the only time either of the people who know spells have used magic has been when the other person in the room was unconscious. So yeah, the elevator is promptly repaired.
all right. Well,
Jean, by the way, has just left to go to a hospital at this point.
Oh, like by herself?
Yeah.
I would have recommended that, but I was too focused on my dog to care.
Yeah.
I'm an awful person.
I wouldn't have made her go alone, but I guess we're busy nailing on elevators now.
I mean, that's one way to phrase it.
It's just our life now.
All right, everyone in the elevator, I guess, and not too loudly
Yeah.
because they're probably listening, and we take it on down.
Okay.
I make sure to. Oh, well, shoot. I think I actually make sure to change clothes first into something more
Perhaps.
reasonable. And then make sure I take the knife or dagger.
Perhaps. So yeah, you can go up. You can all. I think you all need to go and get changed anyway, out of funeral clothes.
Yeah, probably.
Void probably wants to get back into his bounty hunt and gear.
Yeah.
Olivia, I mean, I suppose you'd probably want to get back to your apartment and change there. When you do so, when you do get back to your apartment,
Well, I'd imagine I would have some sort of more leisurely clothes here. Unless I need to
I
go
mean,
back to my apartment.
you haven't moved in. You haven't transferred any of your stuff to this home.
Oh, I thought I had like a suitcase with me at least, but okay.
Not that I can recall. You can pack one when you go back if you want. When you do get back, though, there's a note on your there's some mail in your letterbox.
All right, I will look at it.
Okay. It's from the Théâtre Mogador. They've basically said your mandated, your allowed holiday leave has expired. We expect you back for evening performances, at least between the hours of 7 to 9:30.
Tonight?
I mean, hang on. Yeah, give me a luck roll.
All right.
No, tomorrow.
Hmm. Um. Hmm. I'm trying to think because I imagine they probably would have a phone number, right?
Yeah.
I don't
You
know how to be like investigating actors' disappearances. If I don't show up for work tomorrow night, I'm stuck in a sewer hole. Please send help.
I mean, you can call them. Yeah, your apartment block will have a phone that residents can use, and it'll be free at this time. So yeah, so you call. You're put through to the receptionist. Théâtre Mogador.
Well, I'm going to ask her to speak to whoever would have sent the letter, who is my supervisor, or what, not
Yeah,
supervisor, but
your supervisor is Monsieur Gunald, and you ask to be put through. She recognizes your voice. You're put through. And yeah, you hear his gruff tones. Oui, Olivia.
Yes, I got your letter and I will be there tomorrow night. I just wanted to let you know I had been speaking to some people and um, had some interesting leads, I guess, as they say, on what is going on with these actresses being abducted.
Why would you need leads? You are not the police.
I know, but I just since it's so personal to me, I just want to find out as much as I could so that I could avoid it happening to me.
Yeah, give me a persuade or a charm roll.
Whew.
Okay, yeah, like you very narrowly have convinced him. Nah. Hmm. I mean, what do you want then? Do you want a few days more off?
Well, I'm not sure honestly. I would like to return to work tomorrow. Certainly I'd rather be doing that than worrying about all of these things, but I just wanted to let you know what was going on. I've been visiting with uh, a contact at give him the address of the of the Tadworth
Sure. Yeah.
townhouse.
You
So
okay?
that's where we've been. I can't even think of the right word that doesn't sound crazy to a normal person. That's where we've been discussing the matter. So if you do have trouble reaching me, you might try there.
Okay.
But I do plan to come back soon.
Yeah, he'll brush you off after that.
All right.
By the way, the address of Tadworth's townhouse, if anyone wants to note it down specifically, it's on the Chulchamu, and it's number. Damn it, Street View. It's number. Let's say number 39.
Thought you were
The
gonna say 13.
13.
No, 13 times 3.
Okay, so you finish up that conversation.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Void and Humphrey, you've both gone off to get changed for tunnel diving. Who would be the quickest person to change, do you think? I imagine it might be Void.
Yeah, he is pretty intent on getting down
Get
there
down there and
as
shoot
soon as he
Yeah.
can with his
So Void.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So Void, when you re-emerge, Tim's body is gone.
Wait, did someone I look, is there like blood drippings or something going any which way or
No,
Is he gone and the gore that was around is also gone? Like it's cleaned up, or
he and his arm is gone. The gore is still there.
I look through the hole in the wall. Do I see him? I go to the edge. I look down. Do I see anything?
No and no.
Okay, something's not right here. I look on the
Are
ceiling.
you just realizing that now?
Well,
Uh,
something's really not right.
you look on the ceiling.
He's not gonna
Nothing
jump
there.
down from me, his corpse. Okay.
Yeah, you see the shimmering effect, and 3 red dots appear on your forehead. No, he's not there.
What the hell? I go
What
back
in
out
the...
into the room and I go and close that door that was there so that they can't hear me yelling at the others when I yell at them. It's like, guys, Tim's body's gone.
Klein, you hear this from upstairs.
I will come running in whatever clothes I've managed to put on at this point.
Give me a luck roll.
Okay.
you're in socks and boxers?
That's what I'm just thinking, right? Yeah. Oh,
You are in your underwear.
okay. He comes running out in his boxer shorts.
Good thing I'm
And
not
presumably
that-
for the 20s too. It might be like maybe a wife beater as
Yeah.
well, since that was kind of considered underwear back
Yeah.
in the day.
Yeah.
I say, I'm gonna walk around the townhouse, see if I see anything. Be right back. So I go out the door and I look for something that is out of place that should be there. And I go around the townhouse. If I don't see anything, I go back in.
Yeah, you don't see anything, I'm afraid. There's not even a roll you could make that would be relevant.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure
Wait,
out,
there is one. Give me track.
Oh, right.
Hmm.
Because I was just thinking, okay, like if someone, darn it, if someone picked up the body, then there would be like smudges and streaks
Yeah.
in the.
Yep, and track would be relevant for that, but sadly, yeah.
Unless that's what happens to mimes when they die, they just disappear like they lived their lives, you know?
Oh, I like this thought process.
All mimes go to heaven.
Mimes aren't real. They never were real.
It's a conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
It's like Watford. Sorry, that's a British comedy reference. Anyway.
I do have an idea, but I'm not there yet to tell you all it. So when I get there, I will.
Yeah, you can. Your apartment is not desperately far away from where he is. The only real problems you face are like men leering at you on the street.
Which they will do slightly less as I'm not in my snazzy outfit.
As you're not in your, with your extreme success appearance role. Yeah.
Yeah, that was insane. All right, so yeah, I just nonchalantly, well, not nonchalantly, I am worried about everything, but like not knowing that our mime has disappeared, I come back in.
Tim is in here somewhere.
You're just stalking around, shouting Tim.
Well, Humphrey is going to ready his gun.
Okay. In that case, Olivia, when you enter, would it be fair to say that you are accosted by a middle-aged man with a large gut and a wife beater and underwear pointing a gun at you. I'm assuming Humphrey's fat. I'm sorry.
No, he is. I don't
picture.
know how to share. Yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how to share that picture that I have on Roll20, but that I think when I found that picture, I was like, that is the photo of Humphrey.
Yeah. I've just clicked show to players, so that should be visible to.
Perfect. There we go. Okay.
Yeah. In underpants, hair disheveled, and
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That hair is now all over the place.
He reminds me of John. Was it John Mulaney, Frasier's dad?
Oh yeah.
John Mahoney. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm sad again. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, you.
Mr. Klein, it's just me.
I was like, oh, sorry. Tim's body is missing. That's all he's able to sort of get out.
What?
It's apparently missing.
They took it.
I don't know how logical this is, but like, she's gonna run over to where it had been and look at the floor.
You have to open the door to get back in there. Yeah.
Yeah. You see the gore, the horrible scene of the claw marks on the walls, but Tim is gone.
This is weird. Let's see. We should finish getting dressed so that we can get down there.
I think we both look at Humphrey as you say that.
And we should stay together because if there is a undead Tim walking around now.
Zombie mines coming this summer.
Oh.
Yeah, right. He'll say, Humphrey will say, "Can I just put on just some more clothes?" But then, I want to find Tim as well. Humphrey was sort of like, he would go down there with Void before, but now that Tim's body is missing,
being fair,
that definitely.
You're in Humphrey. What kind of room in the townhouse do you imagine Humphrey would have prioritized? Just a sort of
something with a desk, but that would have been like his biggest thing. It's somewhere where he could do a little bit of work.
Sure. In that case, give me a spot hidden roll.
Okay. Oh, I popped it up. Here we go. This is like the one rules I've been doing okay on. Hey, we keep going. Here we go.
What did you get?
40 out of 86. So just hard, but so a hard, but not an extreme.
Okay. Hard is actually just what you needed. So in the whilst rummaging around in the cupboards, looking for stuff you've hung up, you come across some stuff that must have been perhaps from one of the former room's occupants. But you think it might be potentially interesting if you were to put this on under your clothing, because it's a kind of body armor.
Oh.
Or maybe you could give it to Void. But it seems to be some kind of officer's steel lamellar plate that would have been worn under the jacket.
Oh, wow.
Well, Humphrey will keep it in his hand, and his thought will be whoever is in front should have it on. So whatever, I'll give it. If I'm in front, I'll wear it. If Void is in front, he'll wear it. If Olivia's in front, she'll wear it. And that's sort of how we'll do it. But he'll take it out, and he'll quickly put on just whatever he can sort of manage. It might even be pajamas. Whatever will be quickest, and then also bring that with him back downstairs or upstairs or wherever he is in according to the.
I'll be kind. I'll say you can get like a shirt and jacket and scarf on, because you imagine it might be cold down there.
Okay, yeah. So then he'll come back downstairs and he'll show him. He'll be like, "I found this body armor or this plate that they used to use as body armor. I think whoever is in front, when we're down there, should wear this under their coat or shirt."
Well, I'm gonna be going straight for my dog, trying to find him.
So maybe you should wear it.
So how does armor work in Call of Cthulhu again? This is the first
I'm
time I've ever used it.
pretty sure I can't remember the last time I used it, but I thought it worked as sort of like
Okay.
it sucks up health points or sucks up damage before it hits you.
Oh, so it's kind of like toughness from Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay. I see. Sorry, I get that not a lot of people have potentially played that.
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, maybe, absolutely.
I at least understand. So yeah, I will say it's roughly equivalent to like a World War One helmet. So Void, if you were to put this on and you took, say, 4 bludgeoning damage, you would only take 2
Okay.
because it's worth 2 points.
Which is good since I'm at 6 hit points at the moment.
That's very good.
This isn't gonna turn out well. Yeah. All right, so I'll write that down then for the moment.
Okay. So you give it to Void and he puts it on under his shirt or jacket. And yeah, the elevator not calls to you, but ominously leers in the corner of your eye.
Let's go. We're ready, right? We don't need anything else. Got our guns.
I don't think so. No, yeah.
Oh, I make sure that Olivia has the handgun. Just look threatening. That's all.
You still have the dagger in your Have you got a? Do you have a scruffy action handbag, or do you just like carry things in your pockets?
I think she would have put some pants on that actually had pockets in this case.
I'm afraid you'll need to give me a luck roll for that.
Actually, you're right. Ladies' pants with pockets. Maybe I stole some dude's pants.
Yeah. Give me a luck roll.
Sorry, I lost my sheet.
Oh, unfortunately, this is Paris in the early 1920s. Functional trousers for women are non-existent.
Okay, maybe I could take some rope and tie a bag to my waist. I don't know.
Fine. I'll allow it. Like a purse from the Middle Ages. Their versions of pockets.
I'm just trying to figure out, other than waving it in your hands or holding it in your teeth like a swashbuckling, you know.
Yeah. Sure. I'll just say it's not trousers, but you can have like one of these matronly pocket dresses.
All right.
Yeah, with like the deep pockets in the middle.
Oh, that's true. Like an apron might have worked.
Like an apron. Yeah. So yeah, you've got something similar to that, and and the dagger's in there.
All right.
Yeah. I also, in finding that image, I found another suit of armor that I was very tempted to give Humphrey instead.
Oh.
Which I will. Why, that would have been interesting. But anyway, the elevator calls to you.
Let's go. Come on. In the elevator. I heard them in the elevator.
Okay. Okay. Do you go into the elevator then? Klein? Olivia?
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
I think I also want to note, before the lady left for the hospital, we would warn her that we were going to go down there, I think, and tell her to be extra careful when she does come back, if she plans on coming back. I guess I wouldn't blame her if
That's
she
the
didn't.
last time you see her.
Yeah. She's found dead in the exact same location as Tim. Yeah. Anyway, you climb into the elevator. Void, give me a strength check if you're doing the elevator pushing.
I'm trying.
Trying every day. Yeah, that you very easily crank it round and down. The title of my favorite song. Humphrey, you promptly see this whole new world
Yeah.
open up before your eyes as the elevator by degrees cranks you down, and a dark and dank series of industrial looking rooms open up before you with various bookcases around the place. You see that the one over here has actually had the front window smashed and the vast majority of its contents taken.
Wait a minute.
We didn't leave it smashed though, right?
No, we
No,
opened it with
we
a
used
key
the
and took
key.
one
Yeah.
thing.
So
Not
something
that you can
happened
recall.
after.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously. Anyway, yeah.
It makes me wonder a lot of things, actually. All right.
Yeah, Humphrey will go and is there any books left? Well, when we get down there, are there any books left in the bookcases? Or are they all taken now?
Give me a luck roll.
Okay.
As you can see, I prioritize luck. And yeah, it unfortunately no. They've all been cleaned out.
All right.
So I'm gonna try and check this room to the right here to see if I see anything, people, dogs, whatnot.
People, dogs.
People, dogs. No. Wait. I will allow you something.
Okay.
Around here, you do see a little yellow slick.
Is it urine?
Yeah. And Mayhem has peed inside your car enough times for you to recognize his urine.
Okay.
Poor thing.
Well, I'll check this room then to the left.
Okay. Yeah, the door formerly locked and barred is now open. All of the weaponry has been cleared out. And all of the books.
Okay. Wow, they did
Not
this
the bed.
quick. All right.
Is Humphrey checking out any of this place?
Well, yeah, so the first thing he would have done is check all the bookcases. He'll sort of follow Void and Olivia just because he's not sure, but his gun is going to be ready the whole time, and he will try and stay like close to the walls so nobody can sneak up on him.
Yeah. Okay. You oh, by the way, I have given control of your token to you, so you should be able to move it.
Yes. Okay, so I'll move. There we go. So he'll sort of be out here waiting for Void to come back out.
Okay. You start poking around, yeah, and I mean, yeah, there doesn't really seem to be. This room seems to have been fairly well cleared out.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll call the Void and I'll just be like, "Is everything okay in there?"
Nothing in here that I see, right? It's just cleared out. Yeah, there's nothing.
It's give me a spot hidden roll.
Oh, well, maybe something. Let's see.
You see the back of someone's head in a little opening in the stone down here.
So they're behind a stone?
They're not moving.
But okay, just to be clear, it looks like they're behind the wall and a stone is gone.
No, they're underneath the floor. There's a crack in the floor.
Oh.
And you can see the back of someone's head through the crack.
The back of someone's head.
Yeah.
Let's see, does it look like this stone can be pried up?
I would say it would actually, yeah. You would be able to. It's a two-person job, but
Humphrey, help.
Yes, absolutely.
Or maybe I should
okay.
ask Olivia because she is of
Uh,
many talents.
give me a strength check, both of you.
Yeah, actually, I think Olivia's strength is higher than mine, so.
It is, but you still pass, so hooray. Um, yeah, you move into the room, lift up the slab, and the sight that greets you within will require another sanity roll from the both of you.
Wow,
Oh,
sorry, Humphrey.
Uh-oh.
So
Oh,
close.
no.
Oh, no.
So yeah, you're gonna take a D3 as that's you down to 8.
8, single digits.
Single digits, boys. Yeah, you stagger back in revulsion. Void, you take a point. As oh no, 65. What horrors. As this figure within this open casket has been fully drained of all of his vital life essences. Like he is a dry, desiccated husk. In complete contrast to the gore of Tim's wanton destruction, this figure within the impromptu tomb is like a rotted apple, completely absorbed and devoid of moisture.
Oh.
Like a mummy that's been imprisoned for many centuries. You turn him over with your bayonet, and you recognize him as what could be described as nerdy guy. I think you called him.
He's dead.
He's dead.
That wasn't a period of time. That was immediate.
Yep.
Before I forget here, I have this immune to sanity losses resulting from view
Oh,
corpse or
yeah.
gross injury.
I
I'm
would say
immune to.
this is unconventional gross injury, so
Okay.
it will
Okay.
still you never saw anything like this shit in the war.
Okay. So let's see. Does he check his body? Does he have pockets or anything that he can?
Yeah, you search his pockets. He has like a wallet which identifies him via an ID card as Claude Monterac, and some money, a few small pocket notebooks.
Take them.
Okay, and a gun.
Oh, take that too. This is the nerdy guy.
It's a smaller caliber than your gun. It'll
Yeah.
be like a .32, so it's a D8 rather than a D10.
Sure. I'll note that.
Is that better or worse than the one y'all gave me?
It's worse.
Oh, okay.
I mean, technically, no. I was about to say something horrible there. I wasn't.
I think this guy might have been killed because he let us go. It was his suggestion.
Wait, who is it?
So remember
Then
when
saying that compared to-
we were in the gunfight with that man while you're duct taped or facade?
So it was
duct
the bookish guy that was just following them around, or it was the guy that came along and they seemed to actually listen to him?
So there were two guys. There was a brute.
I
who
will
had the
say,
gun,
Olivia, you don't see him from where you are at the moment. If you walk further into the room, you will.
So there was that brute guy
Yeah, I'll
before
just let
with
Boyd
the gun.
explain it to me in character.
Yeah, so there's the brute guy with the gun, and then the nerd behind him. The nerd, when we said that we were with Tadworth, stopped that guy from shooting, and he said to leave and never come back.
Oh, there was only one nerd. See, I misunderstood that entirely as two different dudes.
So,
'Cause
all
it
right.
had something to do with the token because the token looked. I can't remember what it was, but it looked weirder to me, and I didn't perceive that the same way. Anyway. But alright, I got you.
All right. So I guess, well, we have, unless there's something else in that floor with him, completely pull out the corpse, see if there's anything else in the floor. If not, then leave.
Not that you can
Okay.
identify, no. Looking at his bones, you can tell that, actually, given the state of his corpse, I'd demand like a medical science or a pathology roll of some kind. Which for you would be 1. So,
Do you
I
want me to
mean,
roll that?
no, it's fine.
All right. So unless
Uh,
Olivia, who has the
if you want, who has not seen it yet, and if she does,
yeah.
we'll have to make a sanity roll.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably best. Yeah, just leave the room. I'll leave the room. I don't know what the other two want.
You put him back in there before you leave, right?
No, I leave them on the floor.
I think we should put
On the
everything back where we found it.
the outside of the hole. That no, I'm not respecting these guys.
Olivia, how do you know that he's put him on the floor and not put him back in the tomb if you haven't looked in the room?
Good point. I guess she wouldn't know.
Either that or we can say that you did look in the room.
I think if they're talking about something, she would have at least like poked her head in where.
So, sorry, yeah, I will need you to make me a sanity roll.
Oh, I wasn't sure if like it was a matter of getting all up in its Kool-Aid or not. Where is my
Fear of the unknown and horrible isn't really a matter of like percentiles. I say in a percentile-based game. Yeah, so you'll lose 1 point of sanity.
All right. Well, yeah. So if she peeks down there and sees him just leaving it out, she'll be like, "I think we should put everything back where we found it in case we don't want anyone knowing we were down here if we can avoid it."
They know we're already down here. This is why everything's been taken and he's dead in the first place. They know.
All right.
Move.
Yeah, I think it's time.
So,
yeah, Humphrey, your confused bulk blocks up much of the corridor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just lacking any sanity at this point. Or no, he's got 8, but like he's just like turned around and very confused.
Bright eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, where now?
I'm gonna go over to the right, upper right corridor.
Upper right. Okay. As you do so, you see a room folding out before you. A relatively small little room. Oh damn it! No, not purple. It's not a purple room. You see a relatively dense and stiflingly kind of narrow passageway leading into, as you move further into it, what seems to be a spiral staircase down towards the end.
A spiral staircase. Is it going up or down?
It's going down.
Down. Okay, well,
Before
before
he-
I go into the spiral staircase going down, maybe you should look in the other corridor.
Yeah, I was gonna peek my head down here and see if they'd taken the paintings off the
Yeah.
wall and stuff.
You also note that unlike much of the rest of this this building, it's entirely wooden and kind of extends in a Gothic-like spiral to the top of this room's floor.
Well, I presume I don't see that actually.
Well, Void does.
Yeah.
I'll say that there's a stairway going down, so let's take a look in the other room before we leave this area.
Yeah, that's a good idea, I think.
I'll go over to this corridor and start going down it.
Okay. Sorry, so what are people doing?
I was trying to check and make sure that see if they had taken anything out of the painting or the room with the painting and statues.
Okay. You walk back inside. That room is remarkably untouched.
Okay.
And then Humphrey will go and sort of go straight ahead that way.
Well,
Okay.
don't you want me in front? Because they're gonna.
Yes, if you've got the
first.
thing on, yeah. Why don't you?
Yeah.
Why don't you go
Yeah.
first?
So yeah, you head into that room, and you're kind of cut off by the immediacy of the drop that emerges as a large open space widens out before you, and yeah, there is a huge gap in this grayed out section of the room, as the wall is just gone, and the much of the bottom floor,
Oh.
and it seems to be extending downwards. And give me a listen check.
Don't hear anything.
Yeah, you don't hear anything, but you do know that the rest of this room seems to be covered in like a thick layer of dust. There's a wide variety of statuettes and symbols and sigils and scrolls that have kind of been torn apart and scattered about. And most disturbingly, there's the carcass of a pig in the middle of the room that has had much of its internal organs ripped out. And you see kind of a trail of entrails, which, similarly to the man in this room, have had much of the moisture sucked out of them.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go in the room and I'm gonna get on my arms and knees and crawl over to the pit. I assume
Okay.
that's what it is. It's a pit, and I'm just
It
gonna
is a
look down
large
it.
pit, yes.
Take out my torch and I'm gonna shine it on down and see if I can see anything.
As you do, there is a huge black mass, which, but you see that the mass is kind of quivering and undulating and moving underneath the light. And as you shine it further, as you continue the beam, this scream of chittering promptly resounds, and the massive cloud of rats that had covered the floor disperse and move away from the beam.
Okay, so the black quivering mass was rats, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's kind of good.
have
So
to check.
I'll shine it around on the floor, moving the rats around, and see if they were covering up something.
Yeah, they are covering up what seems to be a rotted wooden floor, which, you know, by that point of depth, you're going like far below even the catacombs of Paris. This is turning into proper subterranean building.
Wow. No water down there, huh?
No.
Okay. All right. Well, if I
Which means that the boards are damp from something else.
Yeah.
You do note that they have a strange brown tint to them.
I guess.
Like more brown than regular wood, I mean. I know regular wood is brown.
Could it look like it was covered with blood at some point?
Give me a what would that be? Give me a spot hidden roll, I suppose. It looks pretty damn bloody.
Yeah. Okay.
Hard to tell at
not
this distance what species it is.
Not a surprise. I'm thinking a lot of it's probably human, but who knows? There's a dead pig in here. All right, so I guess if I don't see anything else, I'm gonna leave this room and we're gonna head on over to the spiral staircase going down, and I'll let them know what it was so that they don't have to go and look in there and
Yeah, Humphrey
find
is
out for
gonna start
themselves.
not going into the rooms for fear of like he could feel. I feel like if you were slowly going
Yeah.
insane, you could feel it. So he's just gonna sort of wait, and when Void comes out, he's gonna say, "Is there anything in there that we should know about?"
I see Humphrey, and he is looking kind of fearful, kind of drained today.
Yeah.
And I say, yeah, there's nothing in there, but don't go in. You don't
Word
need
for
to.
it.
You don't need to see it.
I'll gesture at Olivia. I'll say, if you'd like to go in, you're more than welcome.
Well,
Yeah,
I
look
can
at Void
whisper
curiously.
it. I can whisper it into Olivia's ear. What was in there is a sacrifice room with a pit with blood at the bottom of it.
Ugh.
Yeah. Other than that, I didn't see much of anything. You're still welcome to go in if you want. But otherwise, I'm going over to the staircase and we'll go down that.
Okay.
We might want to double check to make sure that since it is made of wood, that isn't too crappy and that we're somewhat careful about going down it so it doesn't break on through.
Sure. Give me a spot hidden, I suppose this would be. Yeah, you can tell that there are certain steps that look more uh, like abandoned and creaky than others. The other thing you can immediately tell is that this staircase has not been used for a good few hundred years. It's of
Is
a
it
very old design.
does it have a lot of dust on like it hasn't been used?
It has a thick and dense layer of dust. Yeah.
Oh.
And also it has dust. This thick dust has settled like in between broken cracks in the stairs.
So,
So
I'm sorry, what else was in the room other than the staircase then?
I mean, really not much. Like there's a few paintings on the walls that seem to depict landscapes similar to the one you found in the other room.
so Void is a little confused.
Oh, and there's a
Yeah,
sword.
is too. Oh, there's doors in here?
No, there's a sword.
Oh.
It's kind of hanging from a rope in this corner, which is an unusual means of mounting. It's just sort of dangling from a rope attached to the ceiling.
Does Void see any dog footprints in the dusty staircase?
What's also telling is that it's swinging very limply. And you know that in order, like, things don't swing perpetually forever. Something has to have imparted motion to it recently.
Right.
As for dog paw prints, give me a track.
Oh,
Yeah, sorry.
well, I don't have a choice. Going down.
Going down. The rest
Yep.
of you following?
I don't understand because those people came through here. I'm gonna look up.
You're going to look up? Where?
Like to what the sword, you said it's dangling by was it a rope you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
You know how like in mills a lot of the sacks would dangle from thin ropes that kind of were carried through holes in the ceiling that were custom bored? A similar scenario is occurring for this sword. There's just a very small hole in the roof that the rope is just big enough to fit through.
Does it look like it's coming from, like when you say a hole in the roof, does it look like it goes to another room somehow or?
I mean you guess it might do. It's hard to say. Give me a spot hidden, actually, Olivia.
Oh.
Also, Void. Drake. We'll take a break in a few minutes.
No, that's fine. Okay. Just
Also,
right, because
as I'm
we have been, but we just haven't in the past couple weeks. Okay.
Yeah. Never mind.
Well, after
So,
I'm looking around, I am going to say to Void that when we were down here before, they went into both of these hallways, and it seemed like they went a far way away, but these rooms have both been small. Like you said, there was just a pit in the other room and not a hallway anywhere else, right?
Yeah, it's really confusing. I didn't expect that, quite frankly.
And the staircase looks like they haven't used it in forever.
Yeah, and I'm not noticing any dog footprints here, so I'm not sure what to make of it. Unless, wait, you're right. There's probably a secret doorway. There's a secret doorway to get in here. There's probably secret doorways all around this place. Yeah, we should
okay.
search this. This doesn't make any sense. Olivia's completely correct. You're amazing,
Humphrey
Olivia.
doesn't know because we wasn't there, so he's just like, oh, these are so there's no the rooms they went into. There's no way to get out of except for this staircase.
No.
Yeah.
In that case, I'll let you give me a. No, I suppose it would still be spot hidden. Yeah. I always do question where I'm using spot hidden too much, but then I realize it's like perception in D&D. Like
Yeah.
a lot of exploring things are just noticing hidden things.
So in this case, though, we're going around, we're touching things, trying to push up against
Touching
the wall,
things.
see if anything
Yeah.
moves.
In that case, I might let you make me an intelligence roll instead, if you prefer, just to like intuitively find stuff.
Sure, I'll go with that.
Yeah, I'm still eyeballing this sword curiously.
Humphrey will help out and also look for stuff.
Okay. So yeah, you do notice a little 5x5 hidden room that you kind of are moving along one of these paintings, and it opens, swings around from the side, and there's kind of a pull handle in this little corner to open said room.
That was Humphrey that found it, right?
Yeah. You from your investigation of the staircase, you turn around and see kind of something go click, and Humphrey just pull the painting around on a hinge.
Olivia, Void, I think you guys should see this.
Oh. Well.
Yeah.
Did you guys want to stand back? I'll pull the lever on the inside. Because we haven't actually opened the room yet. We just found the lever, right?
You're just then, yeah. I'll pull the lever. I don't mind. You know what? To be honest, like, why don't we do this? Why don't we get on either side of the painting, and then, yeah, that way, and then Olivia stand on one side of the painting. Yeah, all of us I feel like should stand on one side of the painting, and then we should just try and pull it, and then if anything shoots out or anything, then it shoots out that way, and we're not directly affected.
Oh, good point.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So stand on the sides of the painting, or the like up against the wall.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
So
Let me move. I'll pull. I found it. I'll do it. Yeah. Give me my fault.
Give me a strength roll.
Yeah. All right. Oh, actually, maybe somebody else should pull. Oh, hey, there we go.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a bit stiff, and you think you feel something twig slightly in the ligaments of your arm as you pull, but yeah, eventually you pull it out, and with this huge croak and groan of ancient gears being twisted and abused, you see a thin strip open up, and yeah, like the elevator you came down in, it's a little hidden elevator.
That's what they're using.
Does it
This one, yeah, it looks much more frequently used than the stairs.
And I was gonna ask, does it go up any further than where we are, or is this the topmost level? I guess is sort of what I'm asking.
I will say you look at the buttons, they don't have numbers. They have instructions written in French. Also, I've added a little shelf
Olivia?
there because, like, the reason I've added there's a little shelf. The reason I've added a little shelf is because looking at the side, you can see there's actually a little a chilled shelf with brandy glasses there.
Oh,
It's a very nice elevator. Little pre-made glass of brandy. Olivia, you go and you check the instructions. They consistently they are like a mess of random literary references and ideas and like such that basically every time you want to try and figure something out or go to a floor, I'll have to have you make a history check. Or Humphrey can make a history check as you translate.
All right. Well, I will point to each one and read out what it says.
Okay. They all say things like Jacques' descent or the day of Culotte's reckoning, or just random. This is what happens when you give dilettantes too much money and too much time. They give you an elevator that nobody can reasonably expect to use except them.
Oh, excuse me.
Okay. So, you also noticed that rather than a regular elevator, which you would expect to go up and down, this one seems to go slant ways, diagonal ways, every which ways.
It's a Willy Wonka elevator.
You've found the evil mirror universe Wonkavator.
I ask, well, since everything looks in French, does this say how to use it? To Olivia or Humphrey, who kind of know French.
I mean, I've got a 16, so yeah, I'm leaning on Olivia's translations pretty hard. Do any of the things that she say stick out to me as something that would be of interest from a literary standpoint, perhaps?
Yeah, you can give me a history or a art, craft, literature.
Okay, let me see. All right, I have a really good history score, so we'll go with that one.
Poopendorf.
Would I have to have rolled a hard, or would it just be a normal success?
I mean, I'd give you access to the more niche floors if it was a hard or extreme, but you'd get somewhere with a normal.
Okay, I'll spend the 5 then. That's okay. I can do that.
You interpret enough of the references to know, okay, this is where their swimming pool is. This is where their like group meeting room is. This is where their lodgings are, and this is where like the boss's meeting room is.
Okay, so of those options, what are we most interested in going towards? So the lodgings, the meeting room, the swimming pool, or the boss's room?
So wait,
they have a swimming pool down here?
I mean, it's not specifically swimming pool, but it's like leisure room involving water.
So the controls to move the elevator, how does it work?
It's buttons,
Void,
right?
Yeah, Void, looking at them, it's not buttons per se. It's, in fact, a painting that encompasses the full left-hand side of the elevator. And there's, like, a central brass knob that you have to push and shift and, like, clank into place in order to, like, set a setting for the room. And then there's, like, a large red brass button around the front that you have to push to activate the lift.
Oh, so could we just set it to something random and just push the button and go and see where it takes us?
You could. Do you want to?
Guys, should we just do it piece by piece?
If you do that, there are easily like 100 rooms.
And I have no idea where they took my dog.
Yeah, maybe we should. Maybe we should. I feel like I feel like my gut is. I feel like we should either go to the lodging or the boss's room. Those seem like the two most likely places that they would maybe be.
All right, let's go to the boss's room then.
Boss's room. Okay. Okay, Olivia, is that good with you?
I mean, everything I guess is as dangerous as anything else. So
That's kind of what and I don't want to go anywhere near the swimming pool because I just have a feeling that they might keep something in that swimming pool, and that's not anything I want to deal with.
Oh yeah, sorry. Being fair, you could, like I said, there's 100 rooms. You also decode a pretty basic reference. There's also an organ room. They have an organ room.
Hey,
like the musical instrument, or
Yes. I mean,
or an organ room.
no, they mean it. The reference is like a reference to like a French opera that centers around an organist. So, an organist is in player of the organ.
guys, so everything is a literary reference to make the elevator go to a certain place, right? That's what I'm understanding.
I think that there are literary references that give clues to what that floor is.
Are there any literary references for Oscar Wilde?
I don't know.
You did not get a sufficient check. You do
Did not get a yeah, not that. So then Humphrey, not that I can see, because in Humphrey's
okay.
eyes, there's not that he can see.
Okay. Well, you can't read French though, right?
Or I meant
These
not
are-
that Olivia told me.
Oh,
Sorry, that
okay.
of the ones Olivia told me, I didn't pick up on any references to Wild.
Okay.
Mm.
So boss's room then.
Okay,
Mm.
I'm good. I'm good with that. If everyone's good with that.
all right.
Okay, so which room are you setting it to? Sorry.
The boss's room.
Okay, you set it to the boss's room. You step inside. It's a bit of a tight squeeze with all three of you, but at least there's brandy and the floor is relatively nice. And yeah, you set it into place. You push the button, and the lift immediately chunks backwards and then goes diagonally up and to the right.
Okay.
The gears kind of, and it's a distinctly odd feeling because no elevator any of you have ever been in before has moved in this way. So yeah, at that I think we'll take that quick break now.
All right. Thank you.
And I'll
Sure.
I'll leave you with this video. So you eventually end up. The lift kind of clanks to a halt, and the door swings open, and the room you see ahead of you. I reckon it would be worth transferring you to a new map. This.
And we're totally
I might as well-
expecting and seeing someone, and as long as it's not dog size, I'm thinking of shooting them right away.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. You don't. Let's say that you're this little. That's you in there. You see a substantially large and wide room, with in what is a very Gothic style. You'd expect this sort of thing to be more in a befitting of a cathedral or the film set of Nosferatu than this kind of thing. As we've established, some of the people in this party have seen Nosferatu.
Yes.
So yeah, and you see a wide variety of large columns and pillars around the side. But the other thing that grabs your attention is a little raised dais, which seems to be made of the same material as the columns. It's up on here. And on top of that, you notice that there is what seems to be a wide and large box.
What's in the box? Yeah.
I've gone to Brighton enough times to have a similar fear. Okay, I suppose that was a niche joke. Brighton is like the gay capital of the UK.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Anyway.
Is that all that we see?
I mean, you see other columns on the other side that I haven't put in yet, but yes.
So I guess we'd want to look at the box.
You walk up near the dais, and you can see that the box definitely has a lid to it. It's got a gold trimmed ring that runs around the side, but there's definitely a clasp that you could open it with.
Well, unhook the clasp and just push the cover open. Just going for it, man.
Well.
I know, that's what I was just about to say. Like, this is gonna only go one way, and it's awesome.
So yeah, you click open the clasp, and as you do so, you see inside a mottled, distorted, grayed skeletal figure within what you suddenly realize is a coffin.
Yeah. Well, I figured it was a coffin, but
yeah, and yeah, I'm afraid you are going to need to make me a sanity roll.
okay.
As
It's not just a corpse; it is a special corpse.
It is a special corpse.
Okay.
Yes, you can tell just by the condition. The thing is, though, it's incredibly well dressed. It's very pristine in its appearance. It has a kind of a fresh application of blood, but also of makeup to its mouth.
Fresh application of blood?
Yes.
What do you mean by that?
As in, like, there's blood
like
around the mouth.
Pouring it into its mouth, or
yeah. So, yeah, Void, you're gonna lose a D3, I'm afraid. Oh Jesus. So yeah.
roll. Sorry, unless you were just talking about him.
What was that?
There's like a static effect in the background. So yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
You lose a D3 of sanity as you recognize that this creature is something hideous and amorphous and entirely immoral.
Shoot it in the head? I just stopped thinking at that point, and I aimed the shotgun and I shoot it in the head.
You aim the shotgun?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. In that case,
Oh dear.
Yeah, roll me the.
Well, this was a nice campaign, you all.
Well,
can do it again
as far as I can tell, it's just laying there dead-like, right? It hasn't moved yet or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if we're in boss's room and we shoot the boss in the head,
I figure you misread it. Like it's some sort of memorial to the great founder or something like that.
That you will now shoot in the head.
Yeah, I'll
Great.
now shoot in the head.
Yeah. So.
This is for Tim, you asshole.
So yeah, give me a shotgun roll. I'll say you get like +10.
Firearms, and that is Conway.
Rifle, shotgun.
Yeah.
I'd like to say we trying to stop him, but I don't know if we could.
Yeah, so it's going to take the full 4d6 to the head, so why don't you roll that? Yeah, unfortunately, if Tim went up ahead, you'd be too far away. 13. Yeah, you blast a quick both barrel. Well, perhaps not both barrels. You blast the left barrel directly through the top of its forehead, and there's a impromptu screech as suddenly the coffin, its eyes open wide, turn towards you, and become enraged and red, and then it turns completely to mist. And would anyone like to roll me dexterity for initiative?
I guess we all have to.
You all have to, yeah.
We all have to, yeah.
And if you'd like to
Oh, hey, there we go.
if you'd like to put your tokens on the board as well.
Yes, let me do that as
Okay.
well.
I don't know that I'm able to because I am still a failure at getting one other than the basic one.
I mean, you could you know how to upload an image to Roll20, right?
I do. I just haven't found one I like yet.
Okay. What about the one of like? Okay, for now, can you just get the one of like her in the funeral dress? That was a good one.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Let me
just
dig back and find that.
just for expediency. So yeah, so Void, that's quite correct. You would be directly next to it.
Yep.
So okay, you got an extreme. Humphrey, you got an extreme as well. So that means yeah, technically Humphrey is you got above Olivia. So the initiative will be Humphrey followed by Olivia, depending on what he rolls, followed by the man Void just shot, followed by Void.
Okay. So I'm sorry. So I am first?
You are first, yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right. So Humphrey is
Oh,
going
wait,
to
actually, technically he's last in the initiative. Void, you're before him.
Okay.
So anyway,
Humphrey's going to ready his gun and then probably move so he can get some cover. So maybe like to over there.
Sure. Humphrey, I'll let you give me an occult or history roll.
Okay. Well, my history is much better, so let's go with history.
Okay, great. You recall hearing about legends of vampires, and you think this thing must be at least vampire-ish, as unbelievable and strange as that sounds.
Mhm.
You recall hearing that after they've been killed by conventional weapons, the area of mist that is produced afterwards must be stabbed by a wooden stake in order to paralyze it completely.
Okay.
So you okay? So you've moved up. You've gotten cover. Anything else?
Well, I don't know if I could do much else. So yeah, he'll just ready his gun, and that I believe that takes an action. So, or the equivalent of in Call of Cthulhu. So
that adds +10 to the next handgun roll.
Yeah, so yeah, he'll do that. He'll sort of maybe like also like get down on one knee and sort of like steady his hand as well, aiming for the head. But yeah, that'll be next turn.
The non-existent head.
Yeah.
Olivia, how's that token coming?
It's coming.
Okay. So, how are you all feeling about this this whole business?
I'm very excited.
Fair enough.
Interesting to see what
terrified.
happens.
Yeah. I like how Void's... I also like how Void's immediate reaction is a shotgun to the head.
Well, he was frightened right away when he saw it. So, I mean, what is going to be a soldier's reaction to that? Um,
Hmm. Yeah, that's fair. It's entirely fair.
PTSD. Yeah.
PTSD, man. Yeah. So yes. I mean, for now, even before your token will eventually make an appearance, why don't you just what does Olivia plan to do this turn?
Well, I don't even know that she knows exactly what happened if she wasn't able to see in the box, or was she?
You saw Void open the casket. A panicked look came over his face. He pulled the shotgun out of his coat and fired it down into the box. And a
Right.
huge cloud of mist then emerged. That's what Humphrey saw as well.
Right. So I don't know that she realizes that there's still something immediately to fight, to be honest. But let me see. Where's the door we came in?
The door you came in is like
Or the
is
elevator again.
is that little box.
Oh, then wouldn't we still be over here? Or the rest? Well, I guess we could have followed him a little
Well,
bit.
yeah, but like Humphrey can move there because it's within his movement range, so it's fine.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm sorry, what those are pillars?
These are all pillars, yes.
Well, if Humphrey's moving off to get behind a pillar, I suppose, like, I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I guess I would try to, follow suit because I don't know what's going on. So I guess I would take the other pillar
Okay.
if I can.
All right. You may easily.
And
So
by
yeah.
don't know what's going on, I mean her, not me.
Okay. So Void, it's your turn. A huge cloud of mist billows up from the thing you assumed dead.
I don't know. That seems when you shoot things, they don't normally completely turn to mist. I mean, there's no body part left in the casket, right?
No. Your assumption is correct, yes.
All right. So in that case, I'm gonna assume that my shotgun is probably now ineffective. It seems like that.
I mean, you've used one of the barrels.
Okay. Yeah, so I have another. Right.
Okay, give me a spot hidden to see through the smoke.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, you peer down through the smoke and at a little small compartment, clearly that he was covering with his body. You see that there is a small, thin, stiletto-like dagger made in silver.
Hey, that looks promising. I want to try and grab it, but I'm not sure I want to go through the mist to do it. Can I go around the mist somehow and get a handhold of
Give
it?
me a sleight of hand. I will say you'll need a hard. Oh, sorry.
I
So,
I don't get to check it either then, right?
What?
I don't check it as success because if I needed to get a hard.
Yeah, no, you
Okay.
wouldn't check those as a success.
Okay.
No. So yeah, you move your arm round and through, but yeah, unfortunately, the mist seems to kind of bunch up in the regions you're trying to push on by, and it doesn't quite work.
Oh, well, if I can't help but touch it, I'll have to go through it and try and grab that dagger.
Okay, I will say this is the last thing you can do on your turn because technically this is a lot of like actiony-ish stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, give me a strength roll. Okay.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately, your hand is easily rebuffed. So I'm afraid that's really all you can do on this turn.
Okay.
So yeah, the in front of your eyes, the mist condenses and reforms back into the same figure you saw in the coffin before, except now he is dominantly and immensely pissed, and he is going to demand that you make a power roll, which he will oppose. Okay. I think that's. Hang on, yeah. What's half of. Okay. Yeah, no, in that case, you both got the same result. So that's technically not a failure, so nothing occurs. So yeah, you. However, he will, in this same turn, snap his fingers, and you both, you Klein and you Olivia, will feel your pillars begin to rumble, and it's clear that something is waking up from within them.
All right. Well, okay. Is that the end of his turn?
Yeah, it's the end of his turn. So,
Okay.
are you gonna shoot him in the head, Void?
Oh.
Or Humphrey. Oh wait. So or Void.
Oh, sorry, Humphrey. Yeah.
Yeah. I will try and. Well, does any part of him look? I guess this might be a roll or something, but does any part of him look more vulnerable than any other part?
No part of him looks exceptionally vulnerable.
Okay, then yeah, I'll just go for
Yeah, I mean he's a humanoid, so some parts you know from fighting humans to be more vulnerable.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, just shoot him in the head.
Yeah. All right, that seems like the best option.
So handgun plus 10. Unfortunately, even a 74 isn't going to cut it.
Yeah.
And yeah, your bullet fires wide and smacks into the concrete over here. You do note that actually there's like a very nice stained glass window behind him as well. Although you're underground, so there's just like a huge mound of dirt behind it. So why it's there, you don't know. And yeah, I think they need to make dexterity as well. Okay, so in that case, everyone's initiative was so they're gonna go. What did he get again? Okay, so they're gonna go before him. Yeah, so sorry, I'm just organizing initiative badly in my head. Olivia, it's your turn. What are you getting up to?
Well, if this pillar is rumbling, I think I'm not going to try to take shelter behind it, and instead will get away from it.
Okay. You are free to do so.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of the best way to do that. I guess instinctively I would just back away and not really be sure of where to go. I want to do something useful, but I'm not quite sure what that would be. I did want to ask, so is he back in the coffin now that
He's standing in the coffin.
He's standing in the coffin. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the likelihood of me hitting him isn't high, but now that I see there is a creepy thing in the coffin, I think I will try to shoot it.
Okay.
Because I ain't coming near him to stab him.
Make the roll.
Okay, and this was a handgun you gave me, right?
Yeah. It would use your handgun skill. Yeah, unfortunately, you shoot the
so
bottom of the coffin. So, yeah, that's your turn used up, I'm afraid.
That's fun.
Void, back to you.
I'm gonna try.
All right. Well, he
Beautiful.
looks solid again, so
He is.
unusually so. So I'm gonna try and shoot him again with the
Still with the shotgun?
Yeah, there's one left, so I'll go and do it.
There's one left. Yeah. Okay. You click. And at a hard, yep, you blast him, and you blast him so effectively that the mist. I'll use the same token for him as like for the mist, but yeah, the mist that was his form promptly sprays back in like a huge billowing cloud that actually begins drifting out. And yeah, he again seems very aggrieved and annoyed at your general presence.
Now that it blew him back, would I have any opportunity to grab that stake before he tries to get back on over?
Oh yeah, like with your movement, you could very easily grab it.
I grab it then.
Okay.
And actually, if I have any movement left, I'll try. No, I'll wait. I'll stay where I am.
Okay. So yeah, so your turn ends, and then suddenly the rumbling of the pillars becomes manifest. And yeah, I think, Klein, you'd actually be the first to see a skeletal hand smash its way out of this pillar.
Oh, jeez.
And yeah, a kind of like in films that haven't been made yet, a creaking, dust-covered, animated anatomic skeleton smashes through the wood of the pillar and turns its head towards you, clearly using a femur of a friend or something as a crude club.
I'm going to attempt to shoot it, but then I am going to also scream. Can I do that, or am I on? Have I been like knocked back or something?
It's not your turn. That's the main.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. It's not my turn yet. Sorry.
So yeah, he smashes out. He just sees you nearby, so he's just going to attack you first thing. Okay, he swings wide and misses as he failed. So yeah, you nevertheless, he does kind of throw your aim slightly off balance as this Hammer horror style skeleton bursts out of the woodwork. And yeah, a similar thing occurs to you, Olivia. A creature just smashes out of the side of the column and juddering and clacking walks towards you, and yeah, it's going to swing down towards you. That will hit, unless you'd like to roll me a dodge or some. Would you like to?
I wouldn't.
Excellent.
I can't get hit. I just can't.
Hey!
Will be very bad.
Hey! Yeah, you very easily and nimbly dodge by. And in fact, on critical dodge rolls, I usually allow like a counter attack of some kind. Oh. So, would you like to?
Sure.
Okay. You have the gun in your hand, or you have the dagger that you can easily grab and like use in your offhand?
I think I would try it with the dagger, to be honest.
Okay. The dagger, since it's magical, is also a D4 plus 1, rather than just a regular dagger. Okay.
Okay.
And so he has 30% for dodge, and he rolled 74. So yeah, you stab him directly in his gizzard, whatever that is. So that's a 4. So yeah, the thing about skeletons, which I think is really fun, is that they don't have HP. Every time they're damaged, you roll on a D100, and if it's like
you just knock off bits.
No. If it's equal or less to the damage done times 5, then they're just destroyed. So, for instance, like you've done 25 points of damage there, unless I'm mistaken. So if I get under 25 on this current roll, it just turns to bones and powder. Unfortunately, I rolled a 50, so it remains standing. So yeah, you stab into it, and you think you have a good purchase in like one of the shoulder bones, but then it just kind of shrugs it off and continues advancing. Meanwhile, over here, the mist is going to reform and burst towards you, flying through the air, Void.
Okay.
And it's gonna just make a I think it will. I think it'll just make a flying slash attack. So fighting brawl.
Just out of curiosity, a nimble
Yeah?
would not come into play where I could duck behind the
No.
casket or anything. Just to be
You would have had to have done that like when combat began.
okay.
Because it's like diving for cover is only really at the beginning of
Oh,
combat.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I should have explained that better. So yeah, he misses as he just kind of swings by and lands on his feet round next to you. And now that you can see him a bit closer, you see that he's got kind of like all the signs of higher breeding. He has a kind of a very minimized forehead, a swoop of dramatic black hair, very pronounced and sharp cheekbones, and a pointed jutting chin. A Hamburgian chin, if anything. So yeah. He's also not particularly happy at you. So yeah, we now return to Klein.
Okay, so now I will attempt to shoot the skeleton in front of me, preferably like just straight in between the eyes.
There aren't penalties for melee. I doubt there are. So yeah, just fighting handgun.
Oh, come on.
Sorry. Yeah, no, you're kind of perturbed and off-put by the thing. Oh, I forgot that technically there's a sanity loss involved in seeing an animated skeleton.
Yes, there is.
I'll be nice. Humphrey, make me a power roll. Oh,
Hey!
hooray! You know
Not
what?
bad.
I'll say you recover a d6 sanity then,
Oh.
because I'm nice. There you are. You recover 2.
2. I'm back up into double digits. This is what I like.
Yeah.
Humphrey will also yell out, "Hey, maybe it's time to get out of here." As these things are bursting out of the things.
Okay. You do so. Whether
Yeah. And then I actually still have some movement left too, so he'll start moving back towards the front door. So
I'm pretty sure opportunity attacks are still a thing. So
yeah, I believe they are.
So he is going to attempt to club you with his femur club. So that's a 15, which is a hard success for him. Would you like to roll me a
a dodge?
Blow? Okay.
Yes. Oh,
I don't actually remember there being some Call of Cthulhu, but okay.
Okay, Stephen, are there opportunity attacks in?
I've done them if somebody has a melee weapon, because I feel like that's totally valid in the world.
In the real world, if someone turns their back to you and begins running away, like, yeah,
that's sort of my rule of thumb as well. Exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you are going to take a D3 plus a D4 with the combined damage bonus and club. So yeah, you take 4 damage to the skull as he just kind of wraps you around the back of the head with this hard old shin bone.
Oof.
Yeah. So you, reeling from the pain, you stumble towards the elevator door. So that's your turn, Miss Blythe.
I will briefly call back my agreeing and try to stab this thing again.
Okay. You may do so.
Let me find my fighting.
Fighting. There it is. I mean, you can spend the luck points if you want, but...
Actually, in that case, I would like to, because...
Okay. Yeah. You may. In that case, I'll roll a dodge roll. Nope. So you may roll your damage. 5. Excellent. So, yeah, 5. Wait, that's... Yeah, 4 times 5 is 20, and then 5 times... I know my times tables. I went to school. Oh, sorry.
So the more damage you do, the harder it is to actually kill it?
No.
Easier.
It's the easier it is for you to kill it. Because, like, you have to roll under. So, it's like... It would be like if it was a skill that consistently increased. The Destroy Skeleton skill. So, yeah. In that case, that's actually a 15. So, yeah, you... advancing backwards, you stab down into his rib bone, and he promptly just falls apart and cracks down the front and falls to the ground in a pile of spare bones and powder.
All right, I would like to move as much as I can in the direction of the door with Humphrey.
Whatever your movement rate is, sure.
Right.
Yeah, we move to Void again.
All right. Well, I got the silver stake in my hand, and I see his chest there. So I'm gonna try and stab him.
Okay.
And this is gonna be a brawl.
This is going to be a brawl. Okay. Yep. He will roll a dodge. Oh, he will roll a dodge. I think that's a success. Yeah. So he swings past your blade, I'm afraid.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Well, I think, yeah, if you're not proficient, it's half dex, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah. He unfortunately swings past your blade, yes. So, meanwhile, these columns are just continuing to disgorge skeletons in an unfortunate quantity. One of them, directly behind you, Void, is going to attempt to smack you in the back of the head.
Void!
Well, that's an 88, so he swings desperately wide. This other one down here is going to emerge from the one where Olivia killed the skeleton before, and they have a move of 7. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, they this one will get directly next to you and attempt to smack you in the face, Olivia. I cannot roll for shit today. That's a 98. So
Oh,
yeah,
goodness.
he swings enormously wide. So yeah, that's them gone. The big vampire man will promptly make a fighting attack against you, Void.
Okay.
So that's okay. Yeah, he got a hard, nearly an extreme. So would you care to roll dodge or fighting brawl to parry?
Let's see, dodge, that or fighting brawl. Okay, I'll do fighting brawl.
Okay. Unfortunately, that's not a hard success. So yeah, he slightly overpowers you and will just grab you. You will take a D4 damage, and you are currently grappled as he also. You take a wound, obviously, but he also sinks his fangs directly into your neck.
All right.
And
the wound,
you feel
the wound isn't taken by the armor or anything.
actually, it would be. Yes, you take nothing. Okay. So yeah, you still, the teeth still embed deep within your neck, and you feel this horrific necrotic presence that begins sapping within your veins. worse than you've felt in quite a while.
Okay.
You've read enough books to know where this is going. So yeah, that's the end of the turn. Back round to Klein.
All right. I don't want to leave Void, but it's looking bad. So he's gonna go closer to the door, but then he's also. Is there Is there any way? I might for spot hidden. To start a fire.
Yeah. If you have a means to start one, then that's easily doable. Yeah. Oh, you're asking in the room.
Yeah, in the
sure.
room. I'm looking around. Is there
Yeah.
anything
Give
to
me
start a fire?
Give me a spot hid. Actually, no. Just because I like creative combat, give me an int roll.
Okay. Oh, come
Jesus.
on, man.
You are panicked. You have just been hit in the back of the head. It's hard for you to come up with ideas in this state. And you're nearly
All
exhausted.
right.
That doesn't help.
Yeah, that doesn't help either. Yeah. Okay, so I will I'll turn to Olivia and say, is that oh, by the way, did that, just so I can know, during the monster's turn, did the skeleton that attacked me move any closer to me?
I almost forgot about him. Thank you for
I shouldn't have even said anything.
That is. How can we forget? Who could forget, dear skeleton boy? So, yeah, that's an 82. However, so he swings very wide. And yeah, don't even worry about it.
Yeah. So I'll take a shot at him then.
Okay.
Another one. Hey!
Extreme!
Finally!
9.
Finally!
So yeah, 9. So yeah, this is a 45% chance to destroy it. And yeah, I rolled a 20. So you just shoot it directly through the neck bone, and it smashes back into the ground, turning into a fine powder.
Fantastic. With my last little bit of my turn, I'm going to, since I'm close to her, I'm going to turn to Olivia, and I'm going to say, we should start a fire. There's too many of them. And then I'll also shout to Void, again, Void, we gotta go. Let's go. This is a losing battle.
There's a slight issue
He's
with him
getting
leaving.
munched on.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, guys.
Speaking of,
I'm sorry, Void, I should say.
Yeah. Speaking of, Olivia, you are being assailed. Olivia?
Oh, okay. I thought you meant
it's
they were going and
it's your turn. Yeah.
No, I thought you meant it was them
Oh,
doing it again,
no,
not
no,
that it
no,
was
no.
my turn to. Okay.
No,
Well,
it is
I'm
your
going to frightening again. Let me roll
Frightening. Achieve frightening. Was everybody kung fu frightening? That was never answered.
that. No.
You weren't. Yeah, no. Your blow with the dagger swings immediately wide. So yeah, it's time for Void. Void, there are fangs in your neck.
All right. Well, I'm gonna give him the old reach around and stake him in the back, or try to.
Oh Jesus. Sure, I'll say he's not especially used to that. He was in mist form, so he didn't even see you take the dagger. So yeah, I'll let you add 10 to your fighting brawl check. Due to the nature of backstabbing.
I'll spend 1. No, wait. No, that only gets me to
No,
8. Yeah,
you'd have
yeah,
to
never
spend
mind.
11. Yeah.
Oh, do I?
Okay.
Yeah.
Just when you need it, the rolls aren't there. Yeah. You attempt.
You know what? I think I'll spend 11.
You'll spend 11?
This
All right.
This is pretty desperate.
I mean, he's
isn't
got a
it?
vampire
Okay.
punching on.
Okay. So you stab him in the back. Roll me. Wait, this isn't a normal dagger. Roll me 2d4 plus 2. Great. So yeah, you stab him in the back, and unlike before when the kind of the fire has burned in his eyes and he's turned to mist, this time he doesn't. He turns to mist, but the mist accumulates and gathers around your dagger and just kind of hangs there. You're not really sure what to do with it, but like it's this continuous stiff cloud that sits kind of paralyzed and very heavy. It immediately like sets the dagger way off balance. But it sits on the end of your dagger.
Interesting. Okay.
So that's the end of your turn.
Okay.
And you have killed a vampire, Void. Well done. Even if you don't realize
I
it.
don't realize it yet.
No. So yeah, it's now the turn of Bob Skellington Man. Seemingly in response, the towers are going to promptly disgorge 4 skeletons and, in fact, 2 not skeletons from the towers. Wait, no, that's unfair. I'll say, wait, not even there. 2 more skeletons emerge, and so does 1 distinct not skeleton. A kind of shambling, groaning abomination of slightly more constituted flesh emerges in front of this pillar here, and groaning begins shambling its way towards the group at the near the elevator. As does
Oh
this
heck no!
skeleton.
No
Actually.
zombies. We got to get the heck out of here.
It's a zombie, yeah. It's the nightmares of both you and Dolores O'Riordan have emerged in flesh.
Right.
And
that and I'm not dying to zombies again, y'all.
So Void, the one near you, swings, misses. Humphrey, the one down here, swings, misses. These ones will just like continue clinking up, and they'll move nearer to you. Olivia, the one you failed to kill last time, will attempt to get a hit in. It actually gets not a hard, but a good success. Would you like to dodge, parry at all?
Oh dear, I'm gonna dodge.
Okay.
Oh God! All right.
Unfortunately,
it's nice knowing you, everybody.
Unfortunately, yeah, the skeleton get what I like how fatalistic you are. How many hit points do you have?
9.
Okay, there's a reason for you to be fatalistic. Yeah, change that to 3 as this large jagged bone club just hits and whacks you round the side of the head, and you can feel a good degree of your consciousness and stability fading. So yeah, that's fun. That's the end of that turn as well. So we go back to Klein.
Okay. This is getting rough. Would I have a lighter on me? Is that probably not if I was just quickly putting on my clothes?
Give me a luck roll.
Okay.
Oh, also, I forgot there's a sanity cost required to see a zombie. Humphrey and Livia both make me power rolls, please.
Oh no.
You do have your lighter on you.
Okay, there we go.
And you don't lose sanity. So yeah, you do have your lighter on you. Olivia, you are going to lose a d6 of sanity. As you won, as you recall a previous life. So either way, yeah, this thing is abominable and horrifying. So Klein, your lighter is in your pocket.
All right. Is there anything here that it would be extremely flammable? I mean, other than my clothing, but like maybe like a tapestry or anything like that.
The floor is made of wood.
Yeah, I was about to point out when we got here, I think he was talking about how things were wood.
Yeah, the floor is made of wood. The pillars are made of wood. They've just got like stone
I'm
tops
just
and
I'm
bottoms.
just so worried about Void way over there if I light something on fire.
He's a chunky lad. He could probably run through a fire. Remind me never
The
to
thing
say
he just
chunky
stabbed
lad.
Oh God, I just realized how much time has passed too. This has been flying by. This is very exciting.
Oh wait, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. All right, there's 5 of them, and there are 3 of us, and they seem to keep coming. So I'm gonna try and light the floorboards on fire.
Okay.
Void, I apologize. That's what he screams. He just goes, Void, I apologize in advance.
Void, you turn around, fresh from your neck being bitten, to see Humphrey throw his lighter onto the floor, and
Okay.
yeah, it ignites with immediate effect. That witness my incredible depiction of a fire. As the lighter ignites the dusty, dry, cracked wood, and just this huge gout of flame bursts up. Have you thrown it like at the zombie's feet?
Yeah, I was going to I was going to throw it at whatever one is closest to me.
Oh, for some reason, it just doesn't let me pick up and move these things. It lets me like pick up and move these, but not tokens I've drawn. But anyway, yeah.
Basically, or even where not just after you erased it, that token would have been fine too. But yeah, anywhere in those squares.
You throw it at the zombie's feet, I'll say, and in that case, give me a fighting brawl roll because it's an improvised weapon.
Sure.
The power of fire.
Oof.
Okay. I'm not going to say you miss it. Like if you fumbled, I would have said you throw it at Olivia. You throw it on the ground and like the floor ignites. I'll have it do a dexterity roll, which I will say, being a skeleton, it is not excellent at. Yeah, it fails. Unfortunately, it is immune to fire. So, oh well. But yeah, that's your turn, and you have sacrificed your lighter to do that, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay, yeah.
Olivia, it's now your turn. I'll say the fire also expands a square of movement in every direction each round. That seems fair to me. You were saying?
If I just shoved this thing away from me, would that still be a fighting?
That would still be a fighting brawl, yeah.
All right, then I might as well attack him. Please. Shit.
Sorry, yeah. It you attempt to push it, wrap yourself up in it and shove it away, and no, it just remains belligerently standing there. If you'd like, you could move back into the elevator. I'd say, given the angle at which it would have to attack you, and given the speed with which you'd be able to like run back into the elevator, it would have to roll a hard rather than a normal.
All right, yeah, I think at this point, like with how injured she is and how crazy everything is and the floor on fire, she would be trying to get back in the elevator.
Okay. You run back and nope, 787. He smacks off the side of the wood. So yeah, that's a thing. Void, it's your turn.
All right. So I want to ask quick, does making any move at all, would that provoke an attack of opportunity from this skeleton?
No, you can move like in any square around it. I'm treating it like D&D opportunity attack rules, where it's like as long as you're within 5 feet of it.
But if I move away from it, I do.
Then yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I can move over. Well, okay. Well, wait. So my train of thought this time is a little bit different, that the mist did not recoalesce into the monster.
Mist form. No.
So he's gonna drop the shotgun that doesn't have any more bullets yet, but he's gonna try and keep
Okay.
the stake
When you
with
say
the.
drop, do you mean on the floor or into your
Well,
coat?
if I can put it into my coat, all the much better.
You can. That's
But what
fine.
I want to do is
Oh,
I want to keep this corpse, which is mist, on my stake, and I don't want it to fall
mm,
off. So I want to keep
okay.
the mist with me, if possible. And then I want to take out Conwell with my other hand, and
Okay.
then shoot the
I
skeleton.
mm, I will say that is you trying to use a rifle one-handed.
Yes.
So it'll be a hard rather than a normal.
Okay. So, okay, well, let me try what I was gonna do later. To not
Okay.
end up fumbling here, is I have the other initiate dagger that we
Okay.
got from that safe behind the painting.
Yeah.
Can I take that out and try to stab the mist to doubly make sure that whatever this is maybe deceased? Just to see. That's the only thing that Void can think of.
Sure. I will not ask for a roll, even though this will use your attack action thing. You stab into the mist. Yeah, the mist entirely dissipates and becomes ashes on the tip of your blade, and it falls to the ground.
Perfect. Then I will keep within the skeleton's range and just step over here to get a little bit closer to the elevator.
Okay. I mean, if you want, actually, no, it's an animated skeleton. No, it wouldn't notice or care. So yeah, you do that.
Yes.
It's now their turn. The one next to you, Void, lashes out, misses you cleanly. Klein, the one that you've set the space next to on fire, will lash out at you.
Sure.
With a 92, I believe that misses, and he swings very wide over your head. The zombie that was moving up will move next to you, Klein, and will lash out towards you with its zombie limbs. So yeah, that's 59, so he misses. My rolls are really bad today. I don't know what this is. And yeah, the one that was attacking Olivia, the one that was attacking Olivia is actually going to blindly move up to Klein, annoyedly turn around, move into the elevator, and attack you in the elevator. So yeah, that's a 31, so that's a success. Would you like to make me a dodge?
Yeah.
Oh. So yeah, he is going to hit you for the full D3. Wait, average damage bonus plus none. Oh, I got that entirely wrong then. So it's just a D4. Oh, it's still the full 4 though.
Doesn't matter, I'm dead.
I mean, are you immediately dead? I think you're just knocked out, right?
Yeah, there's something I don't
Yeah.
remember
Oh no,
the
we
exact.
we settled this on the train. Basically, on the next turn, you're going to have to make a con roll.
Yes.
And unless someone can first aid or medicine you, and then after that, you're in trouble.
Yeah. Then you fail. You fail. If you fail any one, then you're dead. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So as long as you keep making them, you're okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I won't be able to because my con being bad is why my oh no, it's not. It's because I'm so little. Oh, okay.
Yeah, your size often does affect how many hit points you have.
Yeah, it's either a direct like atom and then take half, or
Yeah.
it's something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, it's directly con and size together.
This is the price you've paid for being thin, Olivia. It's come back to bite.
Well, it was either be thin or dumb, if I remember correctly, and I didn't want to be dumb, so.
That was true. So yeah, you were hit in the head and kind of fall back down, slump back down. Klein, you hear a scream from behind you in the elevator, and a thunk and a hard crack of bone, and hear a slump behind you. Just as it becomes your turn, in fact. Oh, not before the fire extends 1 square in every direction. That will mean you have to make me a dexterity check, Klein.
Yeah, absolutely. Where's my... Oh, there it is. Hey.
A success. So yeah, I will allow you to jump backwards, and just because I think it's cool, I'll allow you to turn around and directly pistol whip this guy in the back of the head as you jump into the elevator.
Sure. So with that wouldn't be handgun though. That would just be fighting brawl,
that would be fighting,
right? Because I'm just hitting him.
That would be fighting brawl with an improvised weapon. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Which are always D4.
I'm going to spend 6.
You spend 6. You do it.
Yeah.
Roll me the D4. If you have a damage bonus, how about?
I don't.
Okay.
Whoops.
Okay. Yeah, so that's a 3. 3 times 5, 15. Let's hope I roll low here. Oh, and that's a 3. So yeah, you smash him on the back of the head, and you fall. I'll say you fall through him and half smack him with your gun, half crush him under your belly, as he just turns into a thin powder underneath you. And yeah, you look up worriedly and see Olivia unconscious on the floor.
Do I? Is that my turn, or can I do a first aid check?
If you want, I'll let you do a first aid.
Yeah, I don't have a terrible first aid. It's not amazing, but it's not terrible. Okay. So
the fire is kind of expanding. Yeah, unfortunately, that's not gonna cut it.
Sorry, Olivia.
It's not your fault. The dice hate us.
Yeah. So yeah, the fire is expanding. The zombie is not as impervious to fire as the others, so I'm going to demand he make a roll. What's in your head? No. He fails, and thus, I would argue, fires at least like a D6. Yeah, he. Also, I'm going to roll a structural instability check on behalf of the floor. Nope, that's a failure. And yeah, the 5-foot space, where I suppose I could roll a D10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So yeah, unfortunately the floor space directly in front of the. Wait, no, that actually doesn't make sense. No, because 1 always starts at the top. I forgot. So yeah, the space directly underneath the zombie's feet gives way, and he just falls through the floor. So he is removed as a combatant, and that space is now a big gaping hole in the floor. And you can hear whistling noises coming up through it, and soft ethereal groans and moans.
Oh, God.
Something is clearly underneath this floor that you have now set on fire. So that's Klein's productive turn. Wait, sorry, no, that was the end of the skeleton's turn. We're back to Olivia. No, we're back to Klein, sorry. Because that was a reaction, wasn't it? It was.
No, that was my turn. Because I moved too. Oh, yeah, because I moved too. Yeah, I moved and yeah, that was my turn.
But technically you did it as. Oh no, you didn't. Sorry, I'm getting confused. So in that case, we move to Olivia. And Olivia, would you care to make me a con roll? Really don't want to. Oh, hooray! A hard. I have the house rule of if you get an extreme, you get put back at 1, but that's not quite an extreme. So yeah, you hold on. Void,
Well,
it's your turn.
well, wait. Could she spend luck, like 3 luck, to
You
get an
could.
extreme?
Do you want to spend the 3 luck to get an extreme?
Sure.
Okay. You splutter back into life as you see Humphrey in vain trying to attend to your head wounds. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh, hello. You're up. All right, here we go.
Let's get
Okay.
out of here.
Yes, let's get out of here. I
I am-
wholeheartedly agree.
I am going to say almost dying is a fairly traumatic experience for you. So, and especially in such a fashion. So, would you like to make me a sanity roll? Oh, you're fine.
Happens all the
Anyway,
time.
happens all the time.
Right.
Void, what are you up to?
All right. Well, there's the skeleton that's prevented me from moving it. Well, I could still move
You
anyway.
can just kill it.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can just kill it? You mean just shoot it?
I mean, you could just shoot it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So I will take out Conwell and shoot it.
Sure. Give me that fighting rifle check. Oh, 13 times 5 is, I know maths. It's 65. So this is going to be an interesting roll. Yeah, 31. So you shoot directly through the front of the rib cage, and just a thick trail of bone dust is all that remains behind as it shatters into myriad pieces of powder.
So then I want to run as fast as I can. I don't know what is my.
You have used your action, so you
Okay.
can't dash.
I can't dash.
But
how?
What is your movement speed?
Good question.
I think it's 9, isn't it?
It sounds right, but let me look.
Yeah, you've
Movement
got pretty
9,
high
yep.
strength and size. Yeah, so you can move 9 squares.
Okay, so that can get me. Now, is that including diagonal?
Yeah, it's any movement, anywhere you wish to go.
And how do I do that arrow?
What do you mean arrow?
There's a little arrow that will show you the distance that you're trying to move.
Oh yeah, click the ruler on the left-hand side.
That's okay.
That only works for like D&D, and so it does like.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, oh yeah. And the fire
you can move
expands.
directly into the fire. The fire expands a square in each direction per round. I will say, Humphrey, to stop it expanding, you are going to get to do like a relevant check when this round ends.
Okay.
Because I don't think you want the elevator to start being on fire, do you?
No, I do not.
Okay. So it's the skeleton's turn. This skeleton will move through the fire unaffected and will attempt to actually grab you and pull you out of the elevator. So give me a... yeah, I'm going to say this is contested fighting brawl.
Is that directed at me, just so I know?
Oh, wait, yeah, no, this actually... There isn't, like, any strategy to this. So yeah, Humphrey, give me a strength roll.
Okay. Oh, not my strong... Oh, yes!
Wow. Yeah, no, that's... so he got a 59. So yeah, you... he attempts to grab you by the legs as you're sort of just still laying on the ground, but you kick him back. And you know what? Yeah, you got an extreme. I like it. Why don't you roll me a D3?
Okay.
Uh, 10 or under? A 4. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
You kick it in the shin so hard it just smacks down and cracks its skull open on the ground, and that seems to be enough. So yeah, this other skeleton, meanwhile, is going to turn round to you, Void, as you run up, and it's going to move over 1, and that's a 27. So it is going to be a normal hit. Give me a dodge or fighting brawl. Yep, you parry it. It swings its club round. You grab it and kind of push it back. So yeah, the fire will then expand one square in every direction. Humphrey, what role would you say would be relevant to prevent a fire setting on a carpet?
I mean, that's kind of hard.
Should we say like a dexterity roll?
I was
Gonna say
thinking
just beating on
dexterity.
it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So give me a
dexterity.
dexterity roll.
My dexterity's okay though.
Oh, yep. I'll allow a hard. You stamp it out just before it can begin to catch. The lovely carpet is now slightly charred at the edges, but there are worse fates. So yeah, it's now back round to the top of the round. Klein, a wall of fire is beginning to separate you and Void.
Yeah, I am going to. I don't think I'm going to jump out of the fire, but I guess I'll try and make as much room as I can on the elevator, and then,
Okay.
would it be possible to maybe put out the fire just in the square in front of the elevator
The only
with maybe like my jacket and like damp it out?
Given the size of the fire, that's kind of your jacket would catch on fire before it can make it.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay.
And the only liquid you can see in the elevator is brandy, which is not advisable to.
Yeah. All right. I guess I will just. Unless there's something I'm missing, but I don't know. I don't see much in terms of something I could do to help you, Void. So I'm just going to try and make as much room in the elevator as possible, and then call him, or like yell out to him that like the fire's like, I'm sure you can see, but you need to get on the elevator now.
Okay. As you do that, oh yeah, give me a power roll to like shout over the fire. No, I'm afraid you can't be heard over the sounds of the flames. But yeah, it's now Miss Blythe's turn.
I mean, she just wants to leave, so if we're just waiting on Void and there's nothing else to do other than waiting on Void, I guess we'll wait.
Okay. Void, it becomes your turn then.
All right. Well, I am gonna provoke an attack of opportunity and run straight. Well, actually, I'm gonna try and jump over that fire because I seen that it's been taking out the floor, and I don't want to walk on it and fall through it.
Okay. In that case, give me a jump roll.
Oh dear.
Hey, made
Oh,
it.
God, he made it.
You, yeah, I'll allow that. You successfully run forwards. I will see if you get hit in the back of the head. That's a 35, unfortunately, and I'll say, given the nature of your jumping, I'm afraid you're going to have to take this in the back of the head.
Okay.
But it is just a D3, so you take 2 hit points to the shoulder.
Okay, and the armor doesn't block that or anything, right?
Oh wait, it does.
Oh, okay.
You feel the bone club smack against the metal plate. Klein's discovery saving you yet again. As you fling yourself over the fire, though, you notice something in the corner of your eye. This strange purple will-o'-the-wisp type ball burst up through the flames of the floor. And yeah, Klein and Olivia, you'll notice this as well, as it sort of begins cackling amidst the flames and lashes this purple whip out that smacks Void in the side of the head. Void, give me a power roll.
Okay.
Do you want to spend the 1 luck to make it a hard?
Might as well.
You do.
Okay, good. That way you don't suffer the sanity loss and become mad. Yeah, you jump through into the elevator, shrugging off the worst of the effects, and so yeah, the round ends. You're in the elevator. You still have an action if you want to just shunt the elevator to anywhere else and slam the button.
Yes. Anywhere but
Where
here.
do you shunt it to?
We
Anywhere
we
but
don't
here?
care.
All right. Give me a luck roll.
Here, I think we do care, but I don't know if we have time to deal with it.
Yeah.
Void, give me a luck roll. Oh! You shunt
Oh,
it
God.
down. You shunt it down to just like the first floor that's close to your hand and smash the button. And yeah, the doors clamp shut. You kind of stamp the last remaining bits of fire in the elevator out with your foot. And it begins promptly clicking and going on a path backwards and down. And so, yeah, you're in the elevator, moving slowly backwards and down.
That didn't go well, but it did go well. Wow.
Sorry we didn't find we might want to get out of here in case that fire just keeps spreading also.
I mean, no, like I said, Void stamped the last of it out when he came
Oh,
in.
okay.
You're fine in the elevator. The floor
I meant yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
we
meant.
meant in the
I meant we
building.
want to get out of the building because if that fire just keeps on spreading, it might eventually reach upwards.
And as you mentioned your travel plans, why don't you look towards that? I mean, don't you want to know which room it is you're going to, Olivia?
Yeah, I was going to say once we started moving and I made sure that everybody was okay. I would like to look where we're going.
Okay. Olivia can help you translate it. This one is actually not in French. It's in Latin. And why don't you just give me a simple history reference? Because this is one of the few literary references you didn't pick up on.
Okay, oh, there we go.
Okay. It is a reference to a Wilfred Owen poem, and you see the words Memento Mori written under the description of a tombstone, in addition to the small painting, as the elevator begins clicking and whirring and taking you down to whatever graveyard of the horrific vampire spawn beneath Paris that you're being summoned to. Your journey continues. And I think that's an excellent point to leave it for this evening.